I don't want to have sex with a guy. I'm not like, I don't want to have sex with you, but I'd like to have I will say this. If you put like a little blood pressure cuff around my pee-pee, the more insightful our conversation gets, the more blood flow will get to my pee-pee deal.
Sure. Welcome to the Kevin Clancy Show. I've been in this game over a decade, and I knew I needed a place where I could run wild on my own solo podcast, where I tell personal stories, I deep dive into conspiracy theories, we rip through the current events of the day, and we do sit-down conversations with the most interesting people on the internet. Make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss an episode. What's up, you mutts? It's another episode of the Kevin Clancy Show, Spike Tour Phase 2, Episode 16. Actually, we might be on to Phase 3. I think this will be the last episode of Phase 2. This is the last batch of interviews. We got a whole new batch coming up. So Phase 2, rousing success, and on to Phase 3. I'm officially, I think I might have to turn into a glasses guy. I popped these on, been getting a lot of compliments. Problem is, I've always said, anybody who wears eyeglasses, who doesn't need to wear them, is a colossal asshole. But if I'm getting compliments, then kind of like, fuck it, right? So, I don't know. You tell me. Can you be if you know putting on this accessory makes people go, oh, that looks pretty good, then why not fucking do it? But the answer is because you look like, you know, you're kind of being a vain asshole trying to wear these glasses that you don't actually need. But it's just like putting on a fucking hat or putting on a watch or a piece of jewelry. It just happens to be something on your face. What's the verdict? Can I wear these?
I was going to say, have them leave a comment.
All right.
Decide.
If you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment below. Can I be a glasses guy? Not like, do you personally think I look good? Maybe you don't, but I'm getting it. If you're getting enough compliments on glasses like this, and you don't actually need to wear glasses, can you start rocking them? Drop a comment below on the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Spread the word. We got Chris Distefano on the show today. It is Chrissy D week here at Barstool. He was on ATI. He was on KFC Radio. Now you get to sit down with Chris and learn a little bit more about him. I'll be honest, not, exactly the deepest dive interview. We still talk a lot about, like, wanting to bang guys. But we also, what I find very interesting about Chris is he's one of the only guys in the industry who has kids relatively, like, in the same age range that I do. So, some of the comics at an older age have families, but most of the younger ones are single and just kind of like focusing on their career. Chris, he's moved back in with his baby's mom, but very interesting dynamic with a couple kids and a stepchild. So learn more about single daddy Chrissy D, as well as just being the funniest guy in the world. There's the two naturally funniest people that I have met in my entire career are Dan Soder and Chris Distefano. And anytime I do something with either of them, whichever person I've most recently talked to, I'm like, that's the funniest person in the world. And so right now it's Chrissy D between the two podcasts and ATI. Same thing with ATI. Dan Soder and Chris Distefano are the two greatest Answer the Internet competitors of all time. It's like watching Brady and Manning in their prime, where it's like, well, Brady's got the titles, but Manning's got the records, and Brady, he's clutch, but Manning, is like a surgeon out there. They've each got their own skill set. Like Dan Soder has individual questions where he knocks them so far out of the park, we retire questions. Dan is the only person we've ever retired questions for. Chrissy D has these performances throughout the whole video. This is his third time doing it now, where it's just one after another after another. It's like a home run king versus like a DiMaggio hitting streak. Those two, when they're at work, are unbelievable. And honestly, I think there's a bigger discussion to be had about some of these guys, where podcasting and radio appearances and the way that this industry has evolved has become its own art form. It's not a means to an end anymore. It is the end. It can be that, but also there's no shame in that game of being like, I'm a podcaster. Now, Dan and Chris are two guys who also crush the stand-up game. So they're just like top to bottom, they're all good. But I think there's a lot of podcasters who are stand-up comics, and they view, their podcast as a way to sell tickets, as a way to work out material, as just a way to push people to go to their special. And in reality, they're just better at podcasting. They're better at talking, just riffing. Just put on a mic off the rip, let's just go. And I think that I know that there's prestige and people are proud of being a stand-up. And that's the ultimate, you know, when your idols are like the Eddie Murphys and George Carlins and Richard Pryor and all that, Chappelle Rock, all those guys. But at what point, you know, do you just say to yourself, like, either A, I'm just better at this, or B, I reach more people, or C, I make more money, or whatever it may be. Now, there's no reason you have to pick one. But in a couple instances where putting out a stand-up special or rushing some live material or whatever is a lesser product than your podcast, it's like, then don't do it, man. You don't have to do it. Just stay as a podcaster. Just be one of the funniest people, you know, once or twice a week, whatever your schedule is. And that's, you're talking to, you know, if you're talking about some of these successful acts, you're talking about tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people every single week. Don't go, you know, do a theater and fuck it all up. There's just no need for it. And I think it's because there's been, for so long, this kind of like, not a stigma about podcasting, but there kind of is. Everybody has a podcast. None of them are good. You know, I'm not going to start one because everyone and their mom does it. And it's like, well, yes, but the good ones are, you know, some of the most important entertainment in the whole industry today. Like, if you look at the Rogans, if you look at the Alex Coopers, like Alex Cooper's a perfect example. Like, that girl can do whatever she wants. She's talented enough and popular enough that she can go do whatever. But in the beginning, like, it was, Call Her Daddy was like this, you know, it wasn't just like press record and go. It was like they had topics, they had dialogue, they had a script they wanted to stick to, and they like created this own, like their own little piece of work, a little piece of art there. And there's, you know, there's no reason it all has to be live or you have to force it in a certain way or be a stand-up comic. This is the game now. This is the art form. So just an interesting thought when you look at someone like Distefano who can do both. But it's just like, I can't believe that he came in, he did Are You Garbage? He did Jim Norton and Sam Roberts before us, came to Barstool and did 3 hours. He did the Kevin Clancy show, this interview you're about to watch, KFC Radio, and Answer the Internet. And then after that, went and did Are You Garbage with Kevin and Foley. Like, I mean, a huge day of just being on and being funny. And the kid, he never stops. Got the gift of gab. He's going to be one of the biggest fucking acts in the world. And maybe it's on stage, maybe it's podcasting with Chrissy Chaos and Hey Babe. But either way, it doesn't matter. There's no shame in that game anymore, man. And so everybody, it's just something to like put on notice for the industry that like podcasting is kind of the new, you know, king of the mountain. When you look at guys like Rogan, you look at girls like Alex, like that's where the big money is now. Not necessarily being on stage and selling out theaters. So if you could do both, do it. But if you can't, ain't no problem with just being a podcaster. Before we get into things with Chrissy D, as always, got a few bones to pick. It's brought to you by 3Chi. So yeah, last week I said there are two types of parents in this world. There are the parents who, at the drop-off line, are dressed to the nines, showered and ready to go. And there are the parents who are still unshowered, in their sweatpants, in their PJs, just, you know, throwing their kid out the fucking door, getting back to the house. And to say that ruffled some feathers would be a gross understatement. You're not mad at me, you're mad at your job. You're not mad at me, you're mad at your boss. I forgive you. I get it. You've got to be up and you got to get right to work after you drop off your kids. I'm not a fucking idiot. I know that people have jobs. I know that you got to drop your kids off and go right to work. I know that's why you're fucking dressed up. The point of the whole fucking bit was to make fun of the parents who either A, don't need to do that, and they just get up and they get showered and they're dressed up in their fucking Patagonia vests and their polo shirt, or they're in their fancy dress and high heels just because they want to be fresh and ready to go for the day, and they're trying to look like they're put together even though they don't need to be anywhere afterwards. Those parents, fuck them. And to make fun of the parents who are so easily riled up by this, if your reaction to that joke was anything more than, fuck, man, I wish I could drop my kids off in sweatpants because I don't have a job I got to be at right afterwards. Any other reaction other than that, you're an asshole. The reactions I got from the parents who, yes, very clearly are working parents who just need to go to the office. I get it, man. I work a job that I don't need to, so I'm lucky enough that I can be in my sweatpants. So I'm making fun of you while looking like a pathetic bum at the drop-off line. That's the fucking joke, that I show up looking like a scrub and I'm acting holier than thou. That's the whole fucking point. And the amount of people who were either so triggered beyond belief. I mean, I had a couple guys here. I'll read you some of their tweets. Again, if your reaction isn't just like, fuck, man, I wish I could just rock the sweats. This dude, we had Steve. Oh, so fuck those people who have to go into an office to work and support the economy? We're talking about the economy now? I had another guy today. That was Steve. I had Matt earlier today, who basically told me that he's the reason I have a job altogether. That's the kind of reactions we were getting from people. Let me find Matt real quick. Matt, you pride yourself on sane takes, but I bet a majority of the working population still has to go to an office and dress in a business-like manner, and that keeps the world spinning. It allows Barstool, which you are lucky to be a part of, to exist. Shout out to Matt, who literally says he keeps the world spinning and creates companies like Barstool because he wears a polo in the morning to drop off his kids at school. I mean, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Just like proving the exact fucking stereotype I was talking about. Of course, most of the parents are just regular people who have dropped the kids off at fucking 8 and be in the office by 9 and they don't have time to do both. But the amount of people like Steve and Matt who were like, I keep the economy going and you should thank people like me because that's why you have your job. That's what I was talking about. I said, show me parents who get all dressed up to drop their kids off and I can tell you everything you need to know about them. These are the people I'm talking about. The people who are so self-important and think that their job matters so much that they're doing me a favor by being dressed up in the morning. No, dude. You still work in a shitty fucking office. You have a miserable cube existence where you don't have a job where you can't work from home. You don't have a job. People are like, oh, we'll have fun, tweeting about TikTok for a living. Yeah, I will. I will have a lot more fun than you. That's the fucking point, man. Anybody. I had the amount of people on the other side who were just like, fuck, I hate having to be dressed up. I wish I could be at home in my pajamas. Yes, that's the goddamn point. The whole idea is that I can go dressed like a schlub and you can't judge me because technically it means my life is more enjoyable than yours. And it's very clear by the amount of triggered reactions, like the Twitter wars I was watching these people get in, and it's like, yeah, I get it. Your life fucking sucks every single day. You're mad. You're mad. But hey, maybe one day you'll, I don't know, probably get fired too. And then you can be in sweatpants all day. I also got a bone to pick. There's this couple in New York City right now. I don't know their names. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they're from. I don't know if they are either A, an OnlyFans couple, 2, a performance artist duo, or D, just a horny ass couple. But this guy and girl are just fucking all over New York City. Right there in public, in every borough, they are fucking. They're fucking in the subway. They're fucking on the streets. They're fucking next to food trucks. They're fucking outside of closed buildings. I mean, just bent over, pants around the ankles, fucking. And every single time, obviously it's New York City, somebody's taking pictures, somebody's uploading, people are like, look at this couple, they're fucking. And I don't know what their motive is. Like I said, if they're filming this for OnlyFans and making cash, God bless you. If this is some sort of performance art, I'm not really into it. Go home. It's like Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox acting like they invented sex. It's like, all right, we get it. You guys like to fuck. You don't need to bang all over dirty ass Manhattan to like prove to us you have a good sex life, or it's some sort of like it's probably like a commentary on how sex is bad, or we need to be more, or the opposite, we need to be more free. What the fuck ever. If it's that, I'm out on it. If it's just some horny couple, I'm back in on it. If it's OnlyFans or just like, hey, we get off on being out in public, I'm not here to kink shame. I probably wouldn't fuck all over Manhattan. I wouldn't be in the subways. I wouldn't be in some of these spots. Not exactly the most romantic or the most hygienic. But that's the young man in me talking. The old man in me is watching these two fuck all over town, and I just can't even imagine doing it. Like, there was a time where you could probably, get me any place, anytime, anywhere, and you tell me you want to get down, it's happening. Okay, I'll fuck right next to this halal truck, no problem. I don't care, I've never been one for the in public, like, let everybody film you. Isn't it weird when that happens? Like, everybody has taken pictures of these people, and they've been posted on Twitter. But it's always far enough away that you don't really know who they are. So, maybe like their inner circle sees that, and they're like, oh my God, that's fucking Steve and Jessica. And maybe you got to worry about like your bosses seeing it. But for the most part, it's kind of interesting that you can just like fuck in public and even go viral on social media a couple times and kind of get away with it. Nothing happened to these people. It's not like I'm hearing a story like, have you heard about the New York couple who bangs all over town? Well, guess what? He lost his job and she got kicked out of the PTA. It's like, no, they're just fucking. And nobody can really put like a name to the face, and nobody's really being doxxed. Just good to know if you are young and you want to like bang in public. But I just can't even, like, fuck these guys, It's just like, yeah, I'm probably bitter and jealous because, like I said, there was a time and a place. There was a time when I could just go anytime, anywhere. Now, are you kidding me? Now, I can't. Now, a quickie at home in a bedroom is a problem where I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I got to get this thing going, like, really quickly. We got to be done in a couple minutes. I mean, I'm not even going to be ready for 10 or 15. Nah, I can't fuck in the elements. I can't fuck around people. I got car horns honking. We got sirens going. The big lights of Times Square flashing. Homeless people are watching. I can't be banging doing that. Who really even can? I would say anybody over the age. What do you think is the age cutoff? What do you think is the age cutoff, Mike, for having sex in public like this?
22.
22. I was gonna say like early 20s. Like if you're even like mid to late 20s, and you're just like fucking all over town, and then certainly like in your 30s and 40s, if it's not for money and there's not like an end to it, if it's just your kink, you should probably have gotten that out by then. I'm cool with it if that's how you get your rocks off. But even then, eventually you got to be like, okay, we've hit every borough, we've been in every fucking landmark. My cum's all over the city. Let's just go back inside like normal people. Right? I mean, maybe that's just me getting old and bitter and lame. But personally, I feel like, how much can one couple fuck all over one city? Jesus Christ. I mean, at my age, 36, I said this on KSC Radio the other day, I realized I am old enough to be a legal grandpa. I could have had a kid at 18, and that kid could have had a kid at 18, and I could be a 36-year-old grandpa with a brand new grandson, granddaughter, grandkid. That is, if there's anybody out there who's a 36-year-old grandpa, holy fuck. That is a couple generations of like some fucked up, if this is like, the fucking 1500s, maybe you can do that. Not now. You can't have back-to-back 18-year-old parents. 36-year-old grandpa. And if you're anything under that, definitely don't tell me. If you're a 36-year-old grandparent, hit me up. If you're under 36 and you're a grandparent, don't tell anybody, because somebody's going to jail then, okay? But yeah, I mean, as far as that couple, while I do say, like, cut it out, I actively have to say you can't kink shame. And I say that coming to you as a man who, I guess this is an admission. Maybe it's a proclamation. Maybe this is just me talking out loud, just getting something off my chest. Got to say it out loud. But on Pornhub, these little ads to start off every video you click on that has these cartoon chicks, fucking, I just need the full versions. I just need to watch the full versions of the Pornhub cartoon ads. I mean, they're just hotter than regular humans. You know what I'm talking about. If you are a Pornhub frequent viewer, you know there's that one chick she's bent over backwards, and there's these weird noises that are just like that much hotter than the human noises. because they're kind of like slippery and kind of like slappy. And she's like, oh no, my husband's coming home soon. His dick's so small. You know that chick? I need to see the full version, okay? Straight up. And there's ones with body parts that are completely far-fetched with their proportions that are awesome. The sounds are ridiculous. The positions are crazy. The attention to detail is fucking magnificent. So I think I'm at the point where I think I'm out on humans. Now, I don't want to be like, I'm not talking weird anime, tentacles, monsters, animals, those things. I still want it to be humanoid sex. I just need it to be the animated versions that Pornhub is teasing me with. I mean, for my entire life, the 5-second, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 skip ad, that's been like, the bane of my existence the last decade. It used to be buffering. Shout out to anybody who knows buffering. If she doesn't know buffering, she's too young for you, bro. That's the rule of thumb. Buffering with that little pinwheel, the little ticker, where it was like you would have to buffer for like 3 or 4 minutes just to get a 60-second clip if you were lucky. Sometimes it was like a minute for like a 10-second clip. Those are the days where you had to wait for your porn. Those were the days, like I said, where you had to keep your, like right now, if I had to deal with buffering, I probably would never even finish. I probably wouldn't even be able to keep my dick hard enough to get through the buffering. Now all we got to do is get through that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 skip ad. But now I don't even want to skip the ad. I just want to watch the full fucking video. The problem is it's a video game. You click on that and it's like you got to like, I don't know, download some shit to fucking play. And I don't want to play it. I just want to watch it. So congratulations to Pornhub or whoever gets the credit for that, the company that's doing the video games. They're the greatest pop-up ads, they're the greatest pre-roll ads in the history of the fucking internet. A little too good for me, if you're asking, if I'm being honest. I'm not gonna have to try to come in the first 5 seconds of my video selection these days. So somebody out there, make it, instead of a video game, just make it the regular video, and you have at least one viewer, and I'm guaranteeing there's thousands more like me. They're coming down from the Highlands in droves of hundreds and thousands. Because every time I bring it up, we've kind of mentioned it on KFC Radio. I talked to Whitney Cummings about it. We got an interview with Whitney Cummings coming up tomorrow with Whitney that is just off the rails. I mean, we're talking golden showers and raccoon tail butt plugs and all sorts of shit. But when I brought that up, she didn't even bat an eyelash. Everybody knows about these animated porn ads, and I'll just be honest, your advertising is just, your pre-roll ads are just too goddamn sexy, Pornhub. So do something about it, because it's actually ruining my porn experience. I'm either like, oh man, I wish I could watch that, or whatever does come on, I'm like, well, it's not as good as that fucking cartoon girl who's sleeping behind her boyfriend's back at the office. Jesus Christ. So figure it out. Chrissy T. Let's get into it. Chris Distefano on the Kevin Clancy Show. It's brought to you by Cuts Clothing. I know Chrissy D is Chrissy Hips, Chrissy Bitch Hips. He's got that thickness to him. And when he pops on a Cuts Clothing shirt, even he looks svelte. Even he looks sharp. Cuts Clothing is the only shirt you're going to need, whether you're talking about the t-shirts, the hoodies, the long sleeve shirts. Cuts has it all covered because they're simple, classic, clean looks that are timeless. They're not going to go in and out of style. You know, I got the bright color hoodie on. I'm wearing the spectacles now. I'll probably look back on myself in a few years. I'll probably look back on myself in a few minutes in this podcast and be like, you look like an asshole. Rocking Cuts, though, you never have to worry about that because it's a timeless look that matches with anything you need to wear, whether you're at the office, whether you're going out on a date, whether you're hanging out with the boys, whether you're lounging around the house. They've got every color t-shirt, solid colors. They've got the different neck cut, whether it's a V-neck or a crew neck. They've got the different hems for the waist, whether it's the split hem, the elongated, the scoop cut, whatever. The hoodies to match. Everything looks sharp. Everything matches with the rest of your wardrobe, and it's the only shirt worth wearing. It's for the sport of business because people like CEOs and entrepreneurs and bloggers and vloggers and entertainers, we're all rocking Cuts. It's not just a clothing, it's a lifestyle. Go to cutsclothing.com/Kevin. That's Kevin. Cutsclothing.com/Kevin. Get 15% off your first order and get your Cuts Clothing, the only shirt worth wearing. It's Chris Distefano on the Kevin Clancy Show. Let's go. We'll get to that in a second, but first, make sure you click subscribe so that you never miss an episode of The Kevin Clancy Show. Yeah. Feeling uptight. What's wrong?
Me?
Yeah. You good?
Really? What a horrible way to start an interview. You feel uptight?
Loosen up!
What a fucking horrifying thing to say.
Anxiety Wednesday, man.
Look. Are you wearing socks or no?
I got the like the low ones.
Oh, okay.
I think was you talking about socks recently? Yeah.
I always talk about socks.
Yeah, you like them high, right?
I like them high. The thing is...
Are we rolling?
Yeah.
Let's let it rip.
For me, yeah, seeing a man's ankle and toes, it just maybe that's why I'm uptight. Because when you walked in, I said...
Toes are extremely different than ankles.
Different. They're so different.
If I were to put my little Tootsie Wootsies up, I mean, that'd be crazy.
I mean, listen.
I don't like... What do you do? What do you wear? How high do you go?
Adidas socks.
See... Also, people get all bent out of shape about Adidas socks with Nike sneakers. Just know,
oh, really?
The sneakerheads are not going to be happy with Chrissy D.
Oh, because it's different companies. It's not like Adidas isn't
Crazy
like
town.
Anti-trans or something.
No. I mean, I'm sure they are, but
I'm
whatever.
going to start wearing the companies that
Are
anti-everything. I'm just going to just be the guy that supports them. That's what I'd like to do moving forward. I have a second season of a potential TV show coming out on True TV, and I'm trying wildly to not be cast in it. So I'm going to just say that I actually think there's some pros for the Nazis.
Bro, on your last episode, you called the producers and everybody fucking pigs. You're like, I'm not going out to LA for this show, you pigs!
Pigs! And then they're still like, do the show!
Bro, they love you so much that you could say anything and you're going to be doing backyards and what's it called? Backyards and
Backyard
grills?
Bar Wars.
Backyard Bar Wars.
BBW.
Dude, it's so funny because when you first were taking the job, there's so many people in the world who believe like TV.
First of all, I don't mean to cut you off, but your hair is fucking fire right now. It looks like you're wearing Vidal Sassoon mousse.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude, you got
Shout
Vidal.
out Fleischman Salon. I'm
got
trying to get this
Vidal
thing to the moon.
Dude, your hair is like, it's like a picture in a salon. You know what I mean? Like oh, I'll take a number 8.
Let's
and
go.
It's just, dude, it's just fantastic. Do you use mousse?
No, I use a Fleischman Salon product. Go to FleischmanSalon.com. Use promo code KSC for 20% off.
Shout out Fleischman.
It's like paste or cream.
Fleischman.
I blow dry.
Wow.
Do you blow dry?
No, dude.
Yeah,
I wake up.
You're short enough that you probably don't have to.
I'm shorty. I don't blow dry my hair. At the barber, they blow dry my hair, but you know.
It's a whole thing, but
it looks good, dude. Your hair looks good.
Thank you.
And you said that you feel fat. I don't think you. I think you. No, listen, dude.
Well, I also have a gross case of body dysmorphia.
You do
For sure. You
no,
don't?
dude. I mean, yeah, we all do, dude.
Right?
But you look cute. But you're a cute kid. And you're wearing you're wearing all black because try to hide it. Yeah.
From here on out, I will wear all black.
Dude,
basically the rest of the season. And actually for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because actually what's coming now, we call it sad boy season here, is like now you can, wear layers and hoodies and shit. When you're in the summertime, the most depressing thing for me was like a few years ago, the first time I put on a t-shirt and had to like worry about it. Like you used to just pop on a t-shirt, whatever, I was like 25. Then all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait a minute. I look terrible in just a regular old t-shirt. Fuck.
Well, see, for me, I'm at the age now, I guess, or maybe just the mindset where like, if you told me, like if you said, hey, I'm going to give you the keys to the weather. Right now, Mr. Fleischman has it. But if you said, Mrs. Fleischman, if you said, I'm going to give you the keys to the weather, the first thing I would do is immediately delete summer. I would get rid of summer. I don't care.
Because you're an adult.
I don't care. Then you know what? My pool's gone. We'll go in the pool with a jumpsuit on.
Sure.
I don't care.
Scuba dive.
Gone.
Yeah. I'm so with you, bro.
I literally, at the minute it like went over 60, for me it's 60 degrees. Once it's over 60 degrees, I feel like I'm in Squid Games.
Once it's over 60 degrees, I'm like, it's Squid Games, and I'm running during red light because I just want to fucking die.
No, dude.
Just fucking kill me.
I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I understand people like summer. I get it.
No, but you know what they are?
Yeah.
Those are kids. Those are people who are either literally are kids who are like out of school because summer was the best. Or I remember being young and I would get a house in the Jersey Shore, a house in the Hamptons. We would party from Thursday to Sunday. I'm tan, I'm happy, all that shit. Then once you become you're a dad, you have kids, a job, now it's just your regular old life, except you're sweating.
Yeah, and regular life sweating, and then taking kids to the beach. Do you know what it's like to clean sand out of a 5-year-old's vagina? Do you know what I have to do? It's an insane thing, and I have to do it.
You know what I've done? Because I'm divorced, I go to the pool
Are
with
you?
my kids. People seem to not know. Every fucking day, you're still cheating on your wife. I've been divorced for 4 fucking years.
He was cheating on her for years before that too. I have the proof.
That's what I should have said. Yes,
Yeah.
it was. I'm gay, and it was with Chris, and I
Yes.
struggled with my sexuality, and then I would have been a victim.
Yeah.
Would have been the fucking.
AFC's gay.
I wish I was. Do you not wish you were?
Huh?
How
Well,
much more money do you think you would make if you
don't
did all
have to
this as
wish.
the gay actor,
honestly,
gay comedian?
here's the thing. I'm not gay.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes, because
Like,
I'm right there with you.
I'm not. The thing is like, it's like you, like now, like at least with comedy, the only thing I feel like I'm in quote unquote expert at is comedy. I feel like I can speak freely and loose on comedy. Once anybody else starts talking about anything, it's like, too many, like you got the FedEx driver telling me about like myocarditis of the vaccine.
100%.
It's like, dude, just where's the package? Like shut up. I don't care what you're Googling.
right. They did their own research.
Yeah, sure. Somebody else wrote it. But comedy, I feel like I can speak on. And like, there's a big thing now, like with, stand-up specials, which some people like, they don't even matter anymore, which I tend to agree with, but they're like, oh, they don't want to give it to straight white males. So I'm going to go do an hour at the Comedy Cellar in a couple of weeks to have, and all the networks going to look at me, Netflix, HBO, to consider my special. And a lot of people like, don't even try it
because they're not
straight
gonna look
white
at
male.
you.
But the
You're
thing
cis.
is, I'm a quote in straight. Yeah. I am a white male.
You might be the best of all, a closeted white male. Like,
the thing is like, but I'm not
repressed.
But here's the thing. I don't want to have sex with a guy. I'm not like, I don't want to have sex with you, but I'd like to have I will say this. If you put like a little blood pressure cuff around my pee-pee, the more insightful our conversation gets, the more blood flow will get to my pee-pee deal.
Sure.
But I will take it out on a woman. You know what I'm trying to say?
So
but in the ass.
I could turn you on.
Yes.
But you're not going to use me to get your rocks off.
Exactly. So I'm not like a fully. I've even, ready for this. I know this is the wrong place to say it, but I've even stopped I still know what's going on in sports always, but I watch a lot less sports, dude. I've been fucking watching Vampire Diaries, and I love it, dude.
Man, I've been saying this for years, and it's definitely the wrong place for me to say it, but like, I watch the Mets still. That's like a weird sickness I have.
Sure.
But everything else is dwindling as I get older. And it's like I just can't find the time or the interest to sit through like a whole game that's... You know what? When I'm with people, I'm here, I'm with the guys doing a live stream, I can do it.
Yeah.
But if I'm home, I'm like, I'd rather watch the fucking Vampire Diaries with Elena and Damon. And
I'm at an age now where I'm like, I just don't care like at all what anybody thinks of me anymore.
Yes.
I just want to be comfortable. And that peer pressure thing, it's
gone.
It's out of my life.
Yes.
I just am like, whatever, dude. Then I'm gay. I don't care what you. I genuinely don't care what you say. I'm on Grindr. Whatever.
I just wish I could do it. I wish I liked dick because everything else is fine with me. Everything else about the gay lifestyle is amazing. Mm-hmm. Like they're happy.
All in good shape.
They're all in good shape. They're all fucking. When they do have kids, it's like you save so much money for so long,
God.
and then when you do have kids, you adopt one, and you're just a happy family.
There's no drama.
There's
either.
nothing.
It's like
it's
what?
amazing.
We can just happily be co-parents,
right?
And we have a kid, and
right.
we have a little gay kid who's
for
a little.
Sure.
It's like now, it's like, why do you have to hate me if I move out? We have 2 kids together.
Beautiful.
Can we just like
do it,
coexist,
and we'd
please?
it'd be like, yo, dude, cool,
What do you want?
But I don't want to suck dicks. Mm-hmm. So that's the problem.
Yeah, the thing
Can
is,
I be like gay in my life, but straight in the
you
bedroom?
don't have to suck a dick to be gay.
Well, I would just assume it's part of the
Right.
package.
Right.
I guess they
right.
could suck my dick.
They could. I mean,
Do you
listen.
think you get your dick sucked by a guy?
Again?
I've heard. Since when? Thursday?
Yeah. What's today?
I've heard that once you get your dick sucked by a guy, you would never go back.
If I sucked a dick by a guy, if I got my dick sucked by a guy, I would never go back.
Yes, I think it was Whitney Cummings was telling me that.
Well,
one of her friends in the industry who's high profile, you would never know, got his dick sucked by a guy and was like, now I can't go back.
Interesting.
So he pays for
Andrew
guys as
Santino. so
And it was Bobby Lee doing it.
It probably was. So I have on my podcast, Chrissy Chaos, there's a guy who comes on the show quite often, transgender character, TT Jerry.
Who I need to meet, by the way.
TT Jerry would love to come in.
Sure.
TT Jerry, she is cleaning my house right now. TT Jerry on her off time is my cleaning lady, who's a guy.
On her off time, she's on her, work for you.
She's cleaning my house. So she told me, though, that every man she blew in prison literally said that's the best blowjob I've ever got in my life.
It makes sense.
Because they know,
Sure.
you know what I mean? Like women can watch porn or,
But
do whatever. And same with us.
Yes.
I'm sure every sexual experience a lesbian has had will say it's more powerful than a man.
think
Because
so?
I think so, because I think a woman knows like what, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I think either way, you got to dive into it. Like when you're like kind of curious and you're experimenting.
Right.
But I think if it's like, I'm going to suck that dick, you know how you want it to be done to you, so you're going to do it to me.
yeah, I know.
I mean, it would be a fiasco. If I blew a guy, it would be a fiasco.
Yeah,
I mean, because I know what I want. It would be a
Right.
You know, it'd be like I'm just getting hit with a hose and people are knocking me around and shit. It would be a Squid Game.
Yeah, that's what it'd be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, man, like I think at this point I wouldn't even want a woman to like blow me. Like she could just lick my balls. Like I just want her to feel like my boxer shorts. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'll take care of my peeps.
The rest, yeah.
Yeah, like,
Well,
and
that also begs the age-old question, would you suck your own dick if you could?
Yeah, it depends if I'm having a flare up.
Well, yeah. That would be the most
kidding.
self-sabotaging thing of all time.
Last
Imagine
thing
if
you
you
want is
suck
a-
your own dick with herpes.
Yeah, I don't want a throat wart. No, somehow I've never gotten a permanent STD.
It's
I genuinely
amazing.
don't know.
You have dodged that
It's one of
bullet
those
for
things
years.
where like I haven't had sex with anybody but my girl in the last like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I which was come on, give me a round of
I was gonna
applause.
say, pat
I've
him on the
really
back,
been doing
pat him
well.
on the back.
But before that, I was just like, I don't understand how I don't have a disease. Like I would tell
Were
the
you a
doc-
condom guy?
I mean, what, maybe. Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Yeah.
But I also was finding women, like we were all like in like this sex crate, like I was finding women that were doing the same thing I was doing, like
Right.
all just sex.
So you're all just being sluts.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah.
but I still never got anything permanent. I mean,
I was always pretty good. I didn't even consider a condom, but I was never. If I have to worry about you, I'm probably not fucking you
yeah.
because for multiple reasons. Like that, I also get a little like self-conscious about it. Or I'm thinking about it. I'm like, how many guys you fuck? Like I'm probably just not. We're probably not going to click to that point anyway.
But see, even now, like, if I was ever single again, which feels like it's coming.
Another set of windows, Vin.
Another set of windows. Thanks, renewal by Anderson. I would feel like even if I got an STD at this point, even if I got AIDS, it's like, what am I gonna do? Fucking go? I got to get the kids to school. Like
It would just be like at the bottom of my to-do list.
It's another thing, dude.
Right.
It's like,
no,
you know
my
what I
T
mean?
cells are low.
Okay, fine. Yeah, all right. Like, what am I going to do? Yeah, my T cells are low, and like, I'll be a little bit sick, but it's like, what am I going to miss my kid's recital? It's like, just go with AIDS.
Right.
You know?
AIDS is, come on.
I don't care.
Would you rather have COVID or AIDS?
Would I rather have COVID or AIDS? AIDS.
You get the right meds, it's like...
Dude, TT Jerry has HIV, doesn't she? She fucking doesn't...
Does she?
Yeah, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, she was a gay man in prison for 25 years.
But it's confirmed?
Oh, yeah, no, she's had it since the 80s.
That's what I mean.
She forgets she has it all the
like,
time.
Oh, whoops, I got AIDS.
Yeah, she's like, I keep forgetting I have AIDS.
But
I'm
what
like,
does
well,
she
we
do when
don't.
she fucks people?
I don't know, actually. She doesn't really talk about the guy. She talks about prison sex.
Right.
But she never talks about
Out of prison sex.
out of prison sex.
Because, like, that's a tough combo. I have AIDS.
Right. Well, it's not have AIDS, you have HIV, but I always call it AIDS. It's one of those things where it's like, to me, it's AIDS.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like if you're we're splitting hairs here. If someone's gonna be like, you've got AIDS, no, I'm HIV positive. It's like,
Yeah, it's like
you got it.
You will eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually not, because they go, you take some, pop some pills and you're
Keep the
good
pills.
to go.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have AIDS than herpes. Is that a crazy thing to say?
Both of them are forever. One can't kill you. One's pretty more. I think herpes is like, they say like 25% of people have it. I think it's like half the world has it.
But my thing is, if that was true, then I should have it.
But it's also like, if you're never fucking somebody that's like open, you know what I mean? And I know you can still get it, but like, probably,
Yeah.
like you're a real dirtball if you've got something on your lip or your dick or your vagina,
Right,
and you
then-
just
and
fuck
then-
somebody.
And then you give it. Yeah, I
like,
guess.
if it's open and it's like, come on, man, you
Right.
could have just told me and we would have like not done it this
we
week.
would have not had
you know?
sex. Yeah,
right.
yeah, butt stuff or whatever.
Sure,
But,
because ultimately you want to get back to the butt because you're probably gay.
I am, and it's just like, whatever. But,
Where-
but like,
where do
women
you-
are like,
where are
hey, I
you?
don't care that you're gay. I'm like, all right, well, I guess great.
Where do you think you are on the Kinsey scale?
Oh, I did that already on a podcast. I was right beneath fully gay. Whatever that was.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never
was
done
right.
it formally. I should do that at some
Yeah.
point. I'm telling you, I'm ending up there. We used to do a podcast with Asa Akira. You know her, the famous porn star?
No.
Japanese porn star. She's been she's been like top of the game for like 15 years. Like
Japanese.
Yes, she's.
Nice.
I can't believe you never heard of her.
No.
She, like porn stars usually like running backs. You get like a good 2-3 years and then you're fucking done.
Right.
And Asa has been in the game forever. She's retired now. She's married, got kids.
Oh wow.
But
Amazing.
she's awesome. She's like super smart. She was a co-host of my podcast forever.
I'm sure she made real money.
And she basically invented OnlyFans.
Oh, there you go.
She was the
Good
first
for her.
person to really
Nice.
like use OnlyFans for porn. So she was making like
Good job.
And anyway, like many years ago, me and John were doing a video with her, and she's like looking around the room. She's like, I bet like 1/3 of all these guys like butt stuff, would get pegged, would like a finger in the ass, whatever.
Yeah.
Me and John were much younger, and we're like,
No
what?
way.
Are you fucking kidding me? And at the time, I was genuinely like, I'm looking at like Big Cat and these guys. I'm just
Right.
like, no, babe, sorry.
Right.
And then like several years later, me and John are at the bar, we're having a drink, and he just randomly out of nowhere goes, we owe Asa Akira an apology.
Yeah. Yeah. Because,
and I was like,
you would.
yeah, man, and that's where the whole fucking world is going, is whether or not you're going to admit it. But then naturally, wouldn't the progression just be like, eventually I'm going to be full-blown gay?
But here's the thing, though, is multiple gay men, including TT Jerry, has said, you're not gay, though. Like, you're sensitive and you have fun and all that stuff, and that's fine. But, like, you grew up in a neighborhood where because the thing is, the neighborhood I grew up in, like, deep in Brooklyn, not, like, gentrified, like, there was no, like, gluten-free stuff.
Right.
Like, sit on the stoop, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That, like, you would get, like, cock slapped if you said you like to read. You know what I mean? Like Antonio Parisi. I couldn't tell Antonio Parisi I knew the capital of New York. He'd stuff his cock in my mouth. I'm like, Albany. So, like, then that I grew up thinking, like, oh, all these things I'm doing are gay, but it's not. It's just like I'm just a guy that, doesn't, I'm a little bit more sensitive.
Right.
I grew up mostly with my mom, so I'm like, but then my brain has formed to be like, oh, dude, like,
that's gay?
Whatever. Like, you just, anything I do, like, you had a yogurt. You know what I mean? So it's like, you should be eating ass.
I mean, Gary
Men's ass.
Goldman said it best when he was growing up, that he would have a Sprite, and he was like, you're gay for drinking Sprite.
It's just, so it's just.
But that doesn't mean you're not gay. That means you've been forced to kind of like told yourself you're not gay.
But now
I know I'm inherently not gay because like when I see a woman, that's what like perks my interest versus a man. I've never like I can look at a guy and be like, oh, it's a good looking dude, but I've never been like, oh, what's up?
But then I watched a thing once, like scientists, right? Like a science kind of convention thing that said the number one thing though for male, like men got the hardest when they looked at tits and a dick. So when you looked at a transgender person that had big, huge tits and a full cock, those were the people in this experiment who skipped that porn the least. Because you like a phallic symbol, because I think
then you get the tits.
Well, cause you want the tits as like the sexual thing that's like feeding like nature, and then the hard dick is feeding your own ego, being like,
that's my dick.
I'm hard. Because you can't really watch a porn with someone who's soft.
You want a big fucking
That's what you
dick.
want, veiny and everything like that. You know what I mean?
It makes more sense mathematically to watch that type of porn because you have more tits and more feminine, but still get the dick.
Yeah.
So
and
really, it's actually super straight to watch transgender porn because you're getting more tits.
Right, exactly.
If you're watching straight porn, you just get one set of female and a dick. Now I'm getting like 1.5 females and a dick. It's actually straighter.
Right.
Straightest
I would
thing you
love
can do
to
is
know
watch
the percentage
transgender
of your audience that has turned this off 15 minutes ago.
Oh, brother.
That was just immediately like talking about cock again.
Brother,
but
my audience is dialed in.
Dialed in. It's just I haven't seen you in so long, and this is usually what we talk about.
I mean, if our text messages ever leak, oh my God.
Oh,
I could get text messages to women leaked that would not like move the needle as much as my text messages to Chris Distefano.
Yeah, I know. When sometimes, one time a girl, she was threatening. She's like, I'm going to tweet out your dick pics. I was like, good, I'll retweet them. I don't care.
You also have a great dick.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
If I would leak your dick. You want me to leak your dick?
No, I want to shout out Dr. Bernstein. Hell of a circumcision. August 26,
I've been told that too.
1984.
I've been telling people.
Really great job.
I finally am talking about myself in a positive way about one thing only.
You just did the fat guy thing. Pulled the shirt back.
I know.
And then like that. I do it too. No, listen. I am so in my head right now. But girl,
don't you think we should invent a shirt? I think they kind of make it, but we got to perfect it. That it's like it's tighter here, but then it gives you a little more fabric here, and then it kind of flares out at the bottom.
Yes, but you know what? Even getting in shape and that, you're doing that for guys because women really actually
don't care.
care as I think. I'll say this. I think I know you can't like make a blanket statement. Individuals are individuals, but like in general, I would think women care less about their guy being in shape as guys care about the woman. Like you can't.
No doubt.
A guy's ego is so fragile that you'll say, "Hey, you know, you need to." Or your mind would be like, she's getting out of shape, I gotta go. But a girl would be like, whatever.
Yeah, they
just
really
buy me
like
windows.
when they say, when they say like dad bod over like hot bod. I'm like, first of all, I don't think you really know what like dad bod truly means.
Like a true
like I see
DB.
dad bod, it's like they show like Leonardo DiCaprio's dad bod. I'm like, come on, bro, that's not. Because he's not even a fucking dad. You got to look at a dad who's in the trenches.
No, look at my dad.
Me. Yeah.
Dude, my dad, if you can tell my dad and my stepmom apart, I'll give you $100. That's a dad bod when it looks like your stepmom.
Right. So girls are a little bit warped on that. But I do understand what they're saying is that they don't want like a little six-pack and like, like that. That's too much. But it doesn't help the ego. Like I was talking, basically saying like, I've dated guys who have fucking rockin' bodies.
That's what you want to hear.
Yeah. And she meant it in a good way, being like, I like you better than them, but basically saying, they have it and you don't, but it's okay because I like you more. And I was sitting there the whole time like, you're just digging deeper and deeper on this one.
Yeah, you're like, I used to date this guy. He was jacked. He was ripped. He was actually the World Series MVP, multimillionaire, but you're better.
You're
because your
funny.
body's soft, you're good to your kids, and you live in a one-bedroom. That's why I like you. And you're like,
I was like, I know what you're trying to do, but this is crushing my soul.
Oh, is that my fault?
Guys,
Birth control.
You.
Oh,
you are unbelievable.
To promote the pre-sale codes.
Tell
oh
them.
God, I'm a fucking.
Do it.
I'm an asshole with the tickets. When does this come out?
Just do it.
Oh, pre-sale code.
No, do it on your phone, you fucking idiot. Do the promotion.
Oh, no. I did it already. I did it when I was walking over here. Dude, you know what I did? A fatty thing. When I was walking over here, I said, I'll be here in 20 minutes, and it really took me 30 to 35.
Because you went and got what?
I stopped at a food cart, and here's what I did. I was on the corner of 6th Avenue and 45th Street, and I got a bacon, egg, and cheese. It was called a Nino Special in a wrap with an iced coffee, which was phenomenal. I sat there and I ate it on the steps of the Fox News building.
You fat piece of
shit.
shit.
Or the thing right outside the Fox News building. And then I walked 2 blocks and I got a black and white cookie from another food cart.
You're getting too famous for these things. People are going to be like, I saw Chris Distefano eating with the homeless people on the steps, and then he went and got dessert from a food truck.
Well, yeah, somebody I was walking with the black and white, and somebody from the back of an Uber yelled, Chrissy Black and Whites! And I was like, Can
I tell you my problem right now? I have discovered like ice cream for the first time.
What do you mean?
I was just never an ice cream kid, and
really?
I would really very, very rarely have it.
What, did you grow up in North Korea?
I was always like brownies, cookies.
Oh, okay.
Don't get me wrong, I'm like a fucking
No, you're going to lose a foot.
Yeah, for sure. But just never chocolate, just never ice cream. And then I discovered some flavors that I really like, and I'm out of control, Chris.
What's your favorite flavor?
Caramel cone from Haagen-Dazs.
Caramel cone?
Caramel ice cream with chunks of an ice cream cone coated in chocolate in there. And then what I do is I order that 16 handle shit. I get all of the toppings. I throw that ice cream out, but I eat all the toppings. So I'm having caramel cone with cheesecake bites and cookie dough and graham cracker crust.
Oh my God,
and I'm having it as my meal. I'm not having it as a snack. I'm having it breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Dude.
Out of control.
Caramel. I mean, I've never in my life had eaten caramel on ice cream, dude.
Bro, I'm going to put this in your mouth.
I'm starting to side with your ex-wife now. The fact that you eaten a caramel cone. But I'm on her side.
I wasn't doing it then. I wasn't doing it then.
No, dude, that's amazing. Yeah, and ice cream's fun. You eat it with your kids. There's a place called, a company called Nick's. It's like keto ice cream, and I got it. Dude, brutal. I mean, brutal. I was like, let's just get back.
Anything healthy and shit. Like, come on.
Come on, stop it.
Just like when you eat bad, eat bad. When you eat good, eat good. Like, don't try to mix these fucking things together.
Just eat in moderation, yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm not going to do it. Do as I say, not as I do, but let's be real.
Yeah, I'm like, I know. For me, I'm like, I took a cab from Staten Island today, which cost
like
over $100 because I was like, I'll walk to all the things I have to do. It's like, that's an old man. I'll walk. It's like I used to come with like a bag, box in the morning, box all day, do this, do that, work out at home. And then, but now it's like, walking, this is my exercise. My whole mind has changed since the Pandy Wandy. You know what, China? You won.
Yeah, for real. I tip my cap, you win, take over.
Yes. Damn, China, anyway. Good for you. Good for the Chinese.
Anyway,
that's what I say.
Everybody loves that take, right? Good for the Chinese.
They figured out a way. They knew they weren't going to beat our military toe-to-toe. We got the best military in the world. So they said, what's America's biggest problem? They're fat fucks. So as soon as they open up their mouths for more Arbyes, we'll send in a microbe. I say touche.
Little Trojan horse on him.
But payback's coming. We're going to send Dog the Bounty Hunter over there.
Unless he breaks his ankle. Dude twisted his ankle and called it a day.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
you can't be a bounty hunter and not be able to work on a twisted ankle.
Where do you think Brian Laundrie is?
I think he is long gone.
You think he's dead?
No.
Nice.
I think he never even went back to Florida. I think his parents have been covered for the whole time, and I think he had like a several week head start.
But what country could he be in at this point?
I think he can be in Mexico, but also I think he could be in fucking America, because as we've learned, if you go to these parks and these forests, it's like you just disappear.
Live? But how do you live with food?
I mean, I don't know. That is. So did you ever follow the story of the Atlanta bombing at the Olympics back in '94 or '96, whatever that was?
No,
this dude Eric Rudolph was the one who did it. He lived in the Nantahala Mountains, which is down in like North Carolina, for like a year. That manhunt went on for like 18 months.
And then they finally found him.
They finally got him. I can't remember. I watched that like a Netflix, like a fictionalized thing on it. I can't remember. Like he slipped up on something. He finally had to go buy some supplies, and they caught him, whatever. But he was like a survivalist. I don't know how much of a hiker survivalist the guy is. But if you have some sort of instincts, and he took some money out, or had his parents cover for him at first, and then he grows some hair and shave that beard.
Dude, did you ever see Escape from Dannemora? Or you know that story, Escape from Dannemora?
I know the story. I didn't watch it.
They got out, and then like in the woods, same
they were
thing.
Fucking
fugitives.
The guard, right?
T.T. Jerry was an inmate at Dannemora during that time. He told us that.
Are we doing he or she?
Honestly, it depends on what she wants to go. She whatever she feels. First of all, she doesn't care. She doesn't care.
She's awesome.
But it's whatever she's dressed up as.
Oh, okay,
like whatever.
Okay. Got it.
So I saw her last night and she was a she, so we'll go with she.
Got it.
So but she did show up to my podcast last week with like a 5 o'clock shadow and full tits. So I was like, now I don't know what to do.
Right.
So
it's hard.
So she said that prison, Dannemora, was like every guard was corrupt. Every prison, she said it was literally the easiest place to escape was Dannemora prison.
But even still, like escape, and those guys got away with it, or they eventually got caught?
No, they got caught. One of them got caught, put back in jail for life. And the other guy, I think, was killed in a police shootout.
How long were they out for?
10 days, something like that.
It's still a good run of escaping prison.
If they would have gotten to Canada, I think.
See you later, right?
Yes, well.
I don't know. People think that making it to the border is like, you gotta go to Mexico.
That's where you go.
And you gotta be like in the fucking slums of Mexico.
Because they don't want to help you. Right. Laundry, whatever, could have been on a flight. He could be out of the country.
That's what I mean. I think if he had an early
No, but wouldn't they know? Wouldn't they have scanned his COVID fucking
Probably, but I'm just thinking if when for those couple weeks where they were just like, well, he's not a suspect, so we can't talk to him. Like if he was actually on the run already, where you get in like a boat, you go to the Gulf of Mexico, and you fucking, I don't know.
Dude, if
Down
I ever
in Florida,
like
there's some scumbags who are going to smuggle you somewhere,
If I ever committed like a heinous crime, like in a fit of rage killed someone, I would just immediately kill myself. I don't want to go on the run.
No,
I don't want to do any of that. I'd give you my fucking Bitcoins and I'd just say, see ya.
Same thing. Can I have your Bitcoins if you murderously kill someone? I'll give your kids some.
As long as you give my kids some. Well, just, give the old...
I will look over it and spend some of it, but also take care of your kids with Bitcoin.
Yeah, I got 3 of them.
What would you...
Not bad.
Oh, I thought you meant kids. I was like, what?
Well, I do, my stepson.
Okay,
I got 3 kids.
But I thought you meant like another one. I was about to strangle you.
I'm gonna be honest. I did have sexual intercourse with a girl when I was 18 or 19 years old. She was a cheerleader in my college, and we had sex, and then she left school, and then she came back 6-7 months later, pregnant. But I didn't know. I swear to God, I didn't know that she had cheated on her boyfriend with me. Fast forward a few years later. One of my teammates at that time went on to become a DJ, or was side job as a DJ, DJ'd her wedding with that guy. Either this guy or her, whatever husband was, because I never knew who it was. And she was like, and she had like a 5-6-year-old kid, and they, because they knew all that story, and I was like, and she was like dark skinned, like Dominican girl, and I was like, what did the kid look like?
He had like blue eyes and fat ass.
And she just said, I know. She just said, my boy just said, he was like, he didn't look Dominican. I'll just say that. Okay. So I was like, there are still times in my life where I wait. Like I've already brought it up to Jasmine,
like
my girlfriend. Like, she was like, I mean, at this point, like, whatever, it's fine.
Well, she's not fine. She's like, whatever. At this point, we're stuck together. But she's not gonna be happy if all of a sudden you got another fucking kid.
She's like, at this, I've wanted you to leave 7 years ago. So
if you have another kid, I mean, what are you gonna do? Add a fucking 13th show to Zanies? How
I
many
know,
fucking
dude.
shows can you do, dude?
It just doesn't stop.
It's like 3 shows per kid.
I know, it's all these, I know. But the good news is because of you guys, the fans, thank you. Now I'm moving on to like theaters and stuff like that, which is good. That's good,
man.
that's good, that's good.
I'm so fucking happy
because
for
there's a
you.
lot of shows. I mean, it is kind of cool because now I feel like, oh, all these, like I had written like little goals for myself and all that like years ago, and now it's like the last one is like crossed off. So now I have to do the new goals.
Brother, you're doing arenas. You will do an arena one day.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm gonna try.
I think in a pretty like close foreseeable future, I think he'll do like a 10,000 person spot.
I mean,
like doing like the arenas and then like the Kevin Hart shit's like crazy. But I think you can do like Burt did 10,000 at Red Rocks.
Yes,
you can do that in like a couple years.
We'll see. Yeah,
I definitely
I have
think
a big
so.
New York
Especially
show going on sale.
You're doing Sal and your own shit and like it just keeps growing.
Well,
backyard burners,
bars.
Yeah,
backyard fucking boof wars, where TT Jerry gets out there and tries to boof different items from your backyard, just like she did in prison. That's the show.
Now that I'm watching True TV.
That's the show.
You want it to be true? You want it to be real?
Nobody wants to see me out there making corny jokes with a hammer. Let's get out there and get a piece of plywood in Jerry's pussy.
I do love the fact that you were kissing dudes on there, though.
That was the first episode,
I mean, they were like, oh, wait, we're getting this.
Well, yeah, I know. Because at first they were like, they didn't know, and my agent, they had like a call with my agent. He was like, you hired him. This is what he's going to do. So either work the show around him or get a new person. And they were just like, all right, I guess we'll work the show
I am
around
the
it.
talent.
Yeah, but they were like, he's going to get out, he's going to start kissing guys. He's going to go fucking out of his
Dick's
mind.
going to be out by episode 3.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the shit so one day, my guy, the homeless pimp, shout out to homeless pimp.
He's unbelievable.
He's the best, who produced all my content. He looks like Bane with autism. He literally came to LA for a week and filmed one day of behind the scenes stuff, like stuff that they would never in a million years use. And then we showed it, like I put it on my YouTube and my Instagram and all that. And the True TV execs were like,
most engagement they've ever gotten. Right?
They were like, hey, this like really did well for us. Can we have some of this and we'll clean it up a little bit and put it on our YouTube channel? We said, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You have to either pay me or start doing the show like that.
Right.
Because if it's going to be...
That's how you're going to get fucking ratings.
I can't do it, So,
but also they can't do it because of like,
I get it.
Yeah.
But that's the problem.
But like, let's meet me halfway and I won't curse as much or whatever, but we'll do it this way,
See, this is the thing too. And again, only speaking freely because I'm in, comedy. But that's the thing with comedy now is like, that's why the podcasts and the internet people are like selling 2x, 3 times the many tickets as TV people because it's like, that's
what people
TV
are resonating with.
was in the 90s. 80s, 90s, even like right before 9/11, all that was okay because we didn't realize like the truth and ugliness of the world. Like everything was, everything's fine.
Happy.
But now it's like with the internet, you see what is real. And it's like, I don't want to see you playing pretend on a shiny set. I don't want that anymore. It's like, tell me what's really happening. Do a joke. You know what I mean? Like
they want relatability.
All that stuff. And then editing.
You know what though? I think there is still an element. I think especially with chicks, like
I thought this was cum on my leg, but it was a paper. It's paper.
Well, it's a toss-up for
I
you.
thought
At any given moment, it could be cum.
I thought it splooged out a little bit.
I'm like, is it your cum? Whose cum? It could be anybody's cum. Zach's, it could be.
He's gay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for real though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're a gay man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. I know it.
He'll fuck you.
100%.
He'll fuck
I know
you.
it. Yeah, dude, as soon as I came in, my
If you
brain
were
was
to
like...
have like a rendezvous with him, who would fuck who? Or do you switch?
It's up to you, buddy.
I mean, no, it sounds like it's up to you.
Coin flip?
Let's see.
I feel like Chrissy would put a hurting on you, Zach.
I was gonna say you can fuck me. I
Yeah?
have like built-in. I have such a fat ass. It's like pads.
I don't think you would get to the asshole.
Yeah, God
I think
made
you'd just be fucking the cheeks.
God designed my ass for gay. Yeah, dude, I knew that. As soon as I walked in, my brain went chwink. It was like a doorbell. Twink.
Twink, twink.
Yeah.
To be semi-serious for a split second, the internet, watching comics find the internet has been awesome and very funny.
Yes.
Because you guys are so like insular and you have your fucking crew and it's like you guys just discovered the internet and it's very funny. Like you're like, you sell 300 tickets at a club, you could do 300,000 views over here. It's like, that's the internet, you dickheads.
You dummies.
The rest of the world's been doing it for 20 fucking years.
I know, because we were so like, listen, I'm one of those guys, I like, the internet and I'm pushing it there and all that stuff, podcasting, but I don't want to say no to TV and film. I just want to do it on my own terms. I want to do it in New York. I want to do my projects. I don't want to be like anti-TV and film.
No.
I'm not. That's silly.
Because what I was saying, I do think there's still an allure, and I think why mostly chicks, but a lot of people still love celebrity couples and celebrity sightings, is because we like put them on a pedestal and we're like, we want to be them and be like that and be fancy and sexy and all that. But so like you still want that, but then from your comics and your everyday listening, you want real. Yeah. So it's like I'll watch your movie and I'll see you like in the tabloids, but then for like my hour-long podcast that I'm gonna listen to, I want it to be like, oh, I do that too, or I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, you'll buy the ticket to the show from the podcast, but yeah, like the celebrity stuff, you know. And listen, dude, celebrities like my comedian friends who are like true celebrities, I mean, they do very well too. It's the guy who's not necessarily a celebrity, but only has something on TV. That's the thing that like, doesn't move the needle.
Yeah, and it's not like you could be good at that show. Yeah. And it might not translate. You could be good at that show. You could be great on stage as a comic. Podcasting is its own little art form. 100%. Everybody has one. It's kind of like you fail at other things and fall back to a pod. All that shit's true. But you can be bad at podcasting. Sure. And great at other shit. And it's like you're not good at on the fly. You're not good at shooting the shit. It's just. And I think Joe Rogan, brilliant joke writer or whatever, but
only like 1% of podcasts get even over 10,000 views.
Right.
Something
there's
like
2 million of them, but like 2,000 of them matter.
Yeah, which is crazy. You know, so.
But I mean, some of the numbers that are. I mean, when we saw Alex Cooper get 20 million a year, and I mean, it's like Joe's getting like 100. Alex gets 20. I said to my buddy who worked at Spotify, I said, how can I even get like a fraction of that deal, you know? And he said to me, be gay, come out of the closet.
Seriously, that was his dead serious.
You know, not really telling me that, but saying the only way you're going to get that is if you were different in some way, because that's what's working right now. Yeah. And they're just not going to take another 2 white man duo that's like a dime a dozen.
Not right now.
But I'm also like, we're really fucking close, so.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
If we're like 90% gay, can we get like 90% of the money, or even 10% of the money?
Here's the thing about white people, though, is we're kind of taking a beating right now, but we always come back.
We will survive.
I mean, we're coming back, and
we will persevere.
When we come back,
we're coming back hard.
Yikes!
Yo, watch out.
It's going to get bad because we are angry.
Yes,
we're very angry white men.
We're like it's like the WNBA. Like we got next. Like we're going to come in hot.
Wait a minute, because we're waiting for our time, and then right when we come back, it's going to get bad.
Do you know what I want to call it?
We're bringing back fucking gulags.
I've been. We're doing concentration camps.
Yeah, we're bringing it back. We're going old school. We're bringing back beheadings. I'm coming back with everything. The Iron Maiden.
We're putting you in the stocks. You know what I mean?
Bring back the stocks. See, the stocks is a form of punishment that I genuinely believe today would actually work, positively work. Because listen, if you said, because now people can murder someone, you get out of jail in a weekend. But if you said I'm going to murder you, and then you have to sit in the stocks for a week, I'd be like, whatever, I'll let them live.
Yeah, no,
you know
that.
Oh God! What a
they just slap you, and spit on you, and your fucking back hurts.
Piss on your eyeballs.
Oh my God, that's way worse than.
And you'd have to do it with a mask on. Safety first. Stop the spread.
What was I gonna say before that? This idiocy.
More gay stuff.
No, it was gay. It was a valid point. When the white people come back, forget about the white comeback. What I have proposed, me and Feidelberg, we want to do the Me Too 2 movement.
Nice.
Because. And I know you're involved. I know you would join this.
Yes, 100%.
This is the movement.
I'm the poster boy.
This is what you want to say for your TV show and your agent and everyone. The Me Too 2 movement. For every guy who has been in like an abusive relationship from a woman who's been like mentally and emotionally tormented by chicks who are like threatening you and telling you you're gonna release your dick pics, and like we'll be led by Johnny Depp. He'll be like our fucking our hero, and the Me Too 2 movement is coming.
Yes, I like it.
And it's our time. It's our time to complain next.
We're coming back. And then literally as soon as we get an iota of a complaint, which would happen within seconds, I am out of there. Dude, I am with Brian Laundrie. See you later.
Just like, right guys, are you with me? And nobody's with me.
I know.
Everybody's gone.
Because people are like, my friends like, I have a podcast, my audience, here's my platform, and they will. As soon as you fucking came with any type of energy, like you're being Me Too, and I'd be like,
see ya.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Dude, so how different has life been since like the first time you did our show? We were back in that old office several years ago.
Remember that?
I did Answer the Internet and all that when I was first coming up, and at that point you were doing well, but it was probably just like clubs and shit. You had probably done a couple bit pieces in movies, and now we're talking Patreon, we're doing theaters, we're doing multiple shows, podcasts. I mean, that's like, when did you feel like you were like, all right, I made it, I'm like done. Not done, but like I'm good now, and now it's all about like icing on the cake almost.
I feel like, well, I see, that's the thing, like making it, because people say that a lot. Oh, if we made it, it's like, for me, it's like, I don't even know. For me, my kids have whatever they want.
Yeah.
And they go to school, and I get to see them all the time. So it's like, for me, and I'm still doing what I love, so it's like, I've made it. Like, I don't need to be Kevin Hart to feel anything, you know?
Right.
It also feels like, at that level, like, that seems like exhausting. Like, there's no way you're going to get time with your kids if you have to go on set and do movies.
You're a little rock star at that point.
Yeah, I don't necessarily even know if I would want that. But I would think, for me, it's really only been over, like, the last, like, 6 months where it's like, you know, when I go, like, my goal always was, and what I always say is, like, I'll feel like I made it when my shows aren't because I was just thinking about comedy clubs. I wouldn't even thought that I would ever get to theaters, but I was like, oh, comedy clubs, when I'm sold out, 5 or 6 shows, when I'm sold out before I even land in the city. So if my shows start Thursday and Saturday, if by Wednesday night they're sold out, because that means I don't have to wake up Friday morning at 6 a.m. and do press and the radio.
Which is, by the way, insane.
Which is
that your industry still does that.
So goofy.
The fact that you guys think that you sell even one ticket off of that
ridiculous.
is so silly.
It's ridiculous.
No, maybe in like the 1950s that happened.
It doesn't work. So I said to myself, once I feel that, and that was
but
hard.
you're there, right?
But well, yeah. Now,
like,
it's like adding shows. Now it's like sold out weeks before. Which, but, and I told myself, you know, when I said that, I remember where I was. It was in fucking Cleveland, and I had not over the course of 6 shows, which the possibility of selling, I guess, 2,400 tickets, 400 people. I had sold, I mean, the shows had started already, and I had sold 80 tickets out of a possible 2,400, and I was like, this is all I want. And now that I'm there, now it's like, okay, I'm sold out. I add shows, they sell out, but how quickly do they sell out? So your brain always moves to think.
It just keeps going.
And now it's like, okay, I'm on sale at, because you always like, no matter how much I try to say, I want to judge myself, you know, I want to just focus on me. I don't worry about what my peers doing, what anyone's doing. Your brain does that, because then it's like, when you move up, then it's like, okay, now I'm comparing myself to whomever, and they're selling out like that at the pre-sale, and I didn't sell out at the pre-sale.
You take an hour.
So I'm like, am I a loser? But then it's like, I just sold 2,500 seats. You know what I mean?
You're not a loser, but
it didn't happen quick enough. But I wonder, even at the top, everybody, Kevin Hart's probably doing that.
Always keep,
you know?
There's always somebody else. But I also think it depends on what type of person you are.
Yeah.
There's a fine line between like ambitious and like unhealthy, where it's like you're always comparing and shit.
Right.
But I think it's almost good. It's like you have the carrot dangling.
Yeah.
And you get the carrot, but then there's a new carrot, and it's a bigger carrot, but it's a little bit further, and you keep on going. But also sometimes I wish I could just be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because you take on more, and if you fail at first, you feel like bad about it or whatever, and it's like, I don't want to get complacent and be lazy, but it would also be nice to just be like, I don't need to also blow up on this app and also sell out this place and also, it's like just because if I told myself, you know, a few years ago that I'd be here, I'd be like, I would have told myself I'm done. I'm like, I made it to my ceiling has been hit. But dude, it's not true.
I started stand-up at a place called the Maui Taco, and all I wanted to do was do multiple shows, get invited to do the weekend shows at the Maui Taco. And now it's like, and hopefully that place has been blown up by ISIS. But that was my initial goal, just to get to weekends at the Maui Taco. And so I always, you know, check myself and try to be like grateful about stuff. But there is a thing, I think, with comedians that we're always like, you know, there always needs to be something that's bothering me, though. Because I feel like anytime I see some of my peers really just go on interviews or on stage and just talk about how good everything's going, it's like, that's fine, good for you, but you're not a comic anymore.
No,
then. It's like,
I know.
I need to talk about what's bothering me.
I agree.
And there's always got to be something that's bothering you.
People always complain to me that I'm like too negative or I'm a hater. And I think, to me, that's like just what's funny. Like, I don't find much humor in like the good things in life, to be honest. It's like, that's cool, that's sweet, that's sentimental, that's cute, whatever, fine. Yeah. But what's funny is like this thing that pisses me off or aggravates, and then you can kind of find the humor in that.
And it's like now, you know, I express myself like the way that I deal with struggles.
Can you turn your flashlight off? It's distracting me.
Turn it off. Sorry. That's fine. What were you looking for? Are you on Grindr?
You were zooming in on Chris's dick.
What are you doing? Are you zooming in on my pee-pee? I know somebody started tweeting me last week. I got all these tweets. They're like, look at somebody, I guess somebody used like my profile pictures to make a Grindr
Flattering.
account. And they were like, look at that. And I was like, yeah, look at them.
Look at that fake account.
Look at how
catfish.
crazy that is.
Did you know on Grindr, he just told me this a couple weeks ago, I'm fascinated by it. You know, in like on Bumble and shit, you can set your location.
Yeah.
you can do that down to the footage on Grindr.
What do you mean down to the
like
footage?
like I could be like, I'm in Denver. Like, how many girls are in Denver? You could be like, I need to find some dick like 50 feet away.
Like on Tinder, it says like mile or less than a mile away or whatever. On Grindr, it goes down to the foot. So it'd be like 100 feet away.
So it's not like I'm in the same town I'm looking for you. It's like I'm in the same bar.
I
I'm
never
looking
went
for
on
you.
any of those dating apps.
Me neither.
Zero.
I don't even.
Like
I always have to
complete-
remind myself which when I'm making a joke or something, which is swipe left, which is
Yeah,
swipe
which
right.
is swipe right.
I was
on the
married-
Raya one. That's it.
I couldn't get on right.
You couldn't get on. Ooh. Somebody's
You know
not
why?
as famous as they
It's
think
not-
they are.
No. Someone's a bad boy. That's the story we're going with.
Oh, yeah.
Because you Google me and then they're like, we don't want your kind.
We don't
I'm like,
want it.
I fucked too hard for
To be
Raya.
honest, it was so overwhelming, that thing, where I was just like, I felt like that was literally going to ruin my life, because it's like, it ruined, and it's not like, oh, girls, pussy. It's like this instant gratification that I needed as a human being. I was like, this is an issue. I also didn't like, even though I know that they would have no idea, and I'm sure it happened to me. I know it happened to me plenty of times. But like, I didn't like pressing a button and like a big X goes over this girl's
You feel
face.
bad.
It's
Like, swipe,
that's a
chop her
full
head off. She's ugly.
person with
Yeah.
a family. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
This is so.
You got a good heart,
This is
Chrissy.
still. You know why?
Why? Because you're gay.
No, because I'm a Republican. Imagine, no, yeah, bring back Trump.
Just say it. I know you want to do it. Just not now.
no.
Just be a MAGA guy.
I'm
Just
in the
do
middle,
it.
baby. I'm
I
in
know,
the
'cause
middle.
you're a rational person.
I'm in the middle. I'm
rational
honestly in the middle. I mean, listen, where I'm living on Staten Island, you better be Republican on my block. And guess what? We are. You know, but it's
You send your kids off to school with MAGA hats and shit.
yeah. No, I feel like as a comedian, like that's not like you. I don't know. I feel like anybody who like picks a side, it's like I don't feel like that's my role in society. It's like make fun of both and
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
be
'cause
silly.
We're like dumb and we're just fucking around.
Yeah,
and
it's
shit,
like
you know?
my thing is like, because the truth is I don't care. Like I'm just
Right.
like whatever, man. Like I always.
I can't believe how many people get like, I'm like, you really care like this much? You really?
It kinda-
like, it's just, it's everything. I'm always like, it's not that serious. And
Yeah.
even when you're talking about some serious issues,
Yeah.
the way that these people tackle it, it's like, it's not that serious.
Well, you know
to
what
me.
happens is I've started to think like now, like, you know, I guess going through COVID, having like a lot of time with like our own thoughts and own people, it's like people genuinely have nothing else to do. Like their lives, for whatever reason, they feel are so miserable that they're like, the only thing I have to get any rise in the day is for me to argue with you
Win this
on
argument
social
with a
media or win
stranger.
this argument about politics, because it's like your life is, it's so miserable
but
outside of it.
When you're arguing politics, fine. It's the people who make everything into politics that is crazy to me.
Right.
Like today, I put out a clip. I said, when I do drop off at school, I show up in like sweatpants and a hoodie, and I
Yeah.
see the people who are in like their fucking
out.
suit. Yeah, and I'm like, fuck these people, you know? So I put up a clip being like, it's the sweatpants parents versus the put together parents.
Yeah.
And like I can tell what type of person you are by it. Basically, you know, joking around about being a slob in sweatpants. And I got this guy being like, sorry that we're stimulating the economy so that you can spend your stimulus check while you sit on your ass.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not that serious.
Yeah, and
I'm just talking about sweatpants versus dressed up, man.
And I guarantee you that guy doesn't even have a job.
Right, I know.
I guarantee, like,
and
he's,
it's all fucking made up, and you're living out some fantasy life on the internet just to fight. And it's like,
Yeah.
God, it's not that
I-
serious.
Yeah, I kind of feel like what, to me, this pandemic really highlighted was like the mental health issues that we for real like have in our country, like seriously mentally ill
That
people.
almost like everybody has.
Like,
Like
it's one
like a baseline of like, and
this
then
is
how
not
bad
like,
does it get?
And this is not like mask, whatever you guys want to do, truly, but it's like when you still see the person with a face shield, a mask, and gloves on, you're like, oh, this is a profoundly, deeply mentally ill person.
But
It's
then you
almost
got
like-
the person screaming and yelling at them like it fucking affects them or bothers them
It's
in a
the
way,
same
and it's
thing.
like, you're fucking crazy too.
To me, it's both extremes are
Always.
both the same thing. It's all narcissism.
But you know what? That's always been life.
Yeah.
The extremes of everything in life is narcissism, where you feel like you are right and you need to be right and tell everyone you're right. And it's the normal people in the middle kind of going like, I don't really know. I'm
I
not
kinda
fucking
feel
sure,
like
but I'm just going to go with the flow here. Cause
if we weren't as civilized of a society as we are now, like whatever, I genuinely feel like it's like French Revolution times. Like we would be beheading the king and queen.
I think that would have been civil war.
Like
Literal straight up
1,000
civil war.
Like it kind of feels like when somebody, I was talking to somebody a couple of months ago, and they're like, I wonder what it was like during the Civil War, because they were talking about this, and I kind of feel like the emotions of how angry people get and how there's a big contingency of people that just don't care. Same thing in the Civil War. There's a big contingency of people that was like, why are we fighting? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But then the actual anger, I mean, obviously with slaves and all that stuff, so it's really like levels up, but still like the anger that people feel like today de Blasio announced that like November 1st, all city workers are going to have to be mandated vaccine. And the anger in my group chat was like insane because they're cops and firemen.
If it was like grab a gun, take up your guns, and fight over this, like still times, that would have happened.
For
like,
sure.
People would be doing that for sure right now. I mean, you hear stories about people being like my family has like broken up over this. Like that was like some Civil War shit where it was like one son went here and one son went there. Except like you said, we're more like civilized. But the anger is enough there that people would have been like,
I think too, like now, like especially like politicians, like there's a degree of comfort that they feel whatever decision they make. It's like, oh, people are like, oh, how come we're all falling in line now? It's like, well, because nobody's going to go kill a politician. It happens they're extremely safe. Back in the day, though, you would absolutely be killed for some of the decisions you made, so that would make a human being say,
I'm not going
to do that. But now it's like they operate with like such impunity, there's no problem. So there's like a human thing where it's like, let me keep pushing.
So what you're saying is we should assassinate more presidents. You heard it here first, Chris Distefano. If we assassinated more presidents, the politics would be better.
ChristyComedy.com. That's what
Sell
we're
those
talking
tickets,
about.
Baby.
Patreon.com.
Sell those tickets. We got to put food on the table
When does the
for
show
9
come out?
kids. This will probably be I don't know, in a week or two. I'm not sure.
Oh, a week or two. Oh, a little week or two.
Like we'll do you next week. We'll bump you up, babe.
Fuck
so
yeah.
you're Wednesday, next Wednesday.
Ooh, that's
week.
nice. I like to be out on a Wednesday.
Yeah?
That's
It's
cute.
not Anxiety Tuesday. What's Wednesday after Anxiety Tuesday?
No, for me, I only do Anxiety Tuesday stuff on days other than Tuesdays, and I started doing that, and I would always post Anxiety Tuesday. Hey, what's up? It's Chris. Happy Anxiety Tuesday on a day that's not Tuesday, just to watch all the people tell me it's not Tuesday. Because then I would just know that person is not a person I ever want to see or hang out with. Because if your comment on something is it's the wrong day of the week, it's like you're such a loser. You have so nothing going on. You're so insecure that you literally want to, like, you're going to feel powerful for the day because you told me it was the wrong day of the week. I get you out of my life.
How about if I put up a segment saying that I'm going to do something in 1 minute and it goes over 1 minute and everybody feels the need to tell you that?
Yes.
Or if you take more than one bite of pizza when you said you were going to take one bite and everybody gets on you about that.
Yeah.
Everybody sucks.
Sucks. Yeah.
Everybody's a fucking asshole.
But you know what I do now? I post on social media, and then I don't look at it again. That's what's been really helpful for me. So I need the social media, but I do not look at the comments or the DMs.
I do like there's one in a million is like some good feedback or something funny that we then, I don't care about positive feedback. I care about like sometimes we'll hear from someone that becomes like a segment, becomes a fucking, like part of our show has been hearing from our fans, and we've come up with these storylines and met people that are like incredible, so I want to keep that like pipeline open, but in order to get to that one fucking nugget, you got to go through like the worst people in the goddamn fucking world.
Right.
But you're right, staying out of that is...
God,
I tell everybody, I think in like 50 years, 100 years, they're going to be like, the same thing about cigarettes and all that shit.
That's what I say.
Where they're going to be like, can you believe that they used to let...
Yes.
There was unfettered access. You could be on it 24 hours a day. Can you believe they did that to their brains?
Yeah,
because
no,
we're fucked.
I said that in the Uber today. Me and my Uber driver were talking about that, and we said the same thing because you're talking about kids and you know, we were talking about having them be on social media or not and what it's doing. When Facebook, or last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever, Facebook almost got deleted, even though like that is the main way, social media is the main way I sell tickets. I literally felt the amount of stress relief I felt when I'm like, is this actually gone? And because I knew if it comes back, which it did, my brain is not going to allow me to delete it.
Right.
I'm not going to be allowed, my brain will just do it because I'm so addicted to it. But it's like, I remember, like that was like, I was very like alarming to me where I was like, yo, because my mother texted me, she's like, are you so nervous? What if, how would you sell tickets? I'm like, no, I'm actually not. I feel relief. I'm like, I'll just go back to being a physical therapist. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you ever had thoughts? I had thoughts recently this week for the first time ever being like, I think I might want to, like, when I retire, like, go, like, live, like, outside the city and try to, like, really unplug and, like I for the first time, I think I was like, I'm doing, like, damage to myself that I think I need to undo once I'm, like, set.
Well,
and I got to like Chappelle this shit and get out of here for a little while.
Leave. Yeah, I mean, look, Staten Island is not like the suburbs, but to me it is. It's like a step.
Yeah.
And getting out of the hustle and bustle and like living in like peace and quiet, like I have a porch swing.
Yeah.
Living like where you can have a porch swing is a little bit like
I found
so
it the
good.
opposite.
You don't like,
But
you know.
well, I what I should have done was be more realistic about where and how much and all that shit, because I kind of like overextended.
Right.
And I'm in Bronxville, New York, and my house is too much money, but it still is a piece of shit, and it's flooding, and it needs to be fixed, but I'm already paying too much money, but we're also on the wrong side of the tracks, so now I also got to pay for private school because I didn't actually get the the taxes to get the good schools. So now I'm in the suburbs, and I just added like 50,000 more problems. But
Right.
had I just been like, we're gonna live here,
Right. So why don't you sell the house?
I mean, we did. Then I got divorced. We had to split up. the
Oh,
whole
right,
nine.
that, yeah,
But
yeah.
like, you know, had.
Well, you did it to yourself, Kevin.
It did, absolutely. We like if it wasn't if we had
Somebody else did it
decided to live somewhere more manageable, I think it would have been more relaxing. But ending up added more stress, you know.
Yeah.
How do you do? I mean, what percentage of comics would you say are fathers and wives, like have kids versus don't?
Little, low,
Yeah, right?
low, very low
'Cause,
amounts.
you know-
But I remember sitting at the Comedy Cellar one night, like right before I had kids, right before I had my first daughter, and I was like, wow, like so these guys are in their mid to late 40s, no wives, no kids.
Mm-hmm.
All they're doing is talking about comedy sets in comedy clubs in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
I'm like, I do not want to be this. Like at the very least, I said, if I never get to a level to sell out or never like quote unquote make it, at least I would have kids to like make me forget about my job, forget about my life.
Sure.
But my peers that don't, it's like they get consumed by the internet, by stand-up,
the job,
by
yeah.
who's selling tickets, who's not, by why did this person get that? It's like I'm not consumed by it. It's like I either...
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I can't. Like, okay, somebody sells more tickets than me, somebody gets a part I didn't get. All right, I'll
Right,
just push my daughter on the swing.
Right,
I
I'm
gotta show
busy
my kids,
fucking... Yeah,
my kids got
yeah.
soccer. Like,
Right.
I can't sit and think about this
It is
all
a good,
fucking day.
It's diminishing them to call them a distraction. They're not a distraction, but it's like something else to focus your effort and your life on, and it's healthy in that regard. I mean, I guess like the top dogs who are older and have made it, you know, like Chappelle's and Rogan's and Burr's, they all have kids. But like the people who are on the come up, like how many people your age? It's like none, right? Because you're on the road and all that shit. Like your life has got to be more stressful than people realize.
Yeah.
Because I say that about myself doing it here. For the longest time, I was the only guy with kids. Now a bunch of people have it. But the amount of shows that I do,
Right.
and still juggling the kids and trying to live, you know, I'm like, sometimes I'm basically like living as just a regular guy on his own. Sometimes I'm a dad, then other times I'm fucking doing this.
Right.
But you also have the added element of being all over the fucking country at all
Right.
times. I mean, that's
a
lot of balls up in the air.
It's
and
a
I know
lot.
you like the balls.
I love it. It's a lot, but I kind of feel like I'm trying to do this now. I try to, you know, the balance is sacrifices. Is like I'm the dad, like I'm always only the only dad, like picking my kids up from school, taking them to their like soccer practices, swim practices, taking my daughter to
Because you're available.
practice. But the games on the weekends, sometimes I have to miss because that's when I have to go make the money. So I feel like I actually get more time with my daughter than a guy working a 9 to 5 because they're leaving at 7, getting home at 7. Where like, you know, unless they're working from home, but like a typical schedule where like I'm with my kids all day. Like today I'm in the city doing a bunch of stuff, but this is rare. Normally,
See, that's what's fucked for me because I'm doing the entertainment shit, but it's basically 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Because we do so many shows, so it's like I'm still missing that. That's why I think when I get my money and things like I think I want to like scale back and then be able to do that kind of shit.
Well, that's the main motivation for me for like trying to like move my shows to theaters where I'm just like now I can just do one show, get home to my kids, and even the podcast I do it all from home.
But are you gonna, or are you gonna be like, let's add a second theater show? You know, like
To be
that's
honest
like you
with
said,
you,
your brain keeps.
My brain keeps pushing, but I kind of feel like the benefit of it taking a very, very long time for me, you know, 12 years now, and I'm finally just at the first point starting to sell tickets and dealing with the shit for so long and half-sold rooms and, you know, being in comedy clubs in the middle of fucking Indiana, like that are on top of taco restaurants from Wednesday to Monday, and it sucks, and you make $1,000 that you have to give half to your manager.
You walk away with like $100.
It's brutal. all that, is important to me now is like quality of life. So I do want to be the person who's like, yeah, I know I can make twice as much money if I had 2 shows, but you know what? I want to be done with my night by 9 o'clock.
Right.
Like
it's not worth another 10 grand or
no,
whatever.
because I hear people, all that be like, oh, they were athletes, or some other people I know are big comics, like, oh yeah, I missed my kid's life. Now they're a teenager now and they fucking hate me, but hey, I made the money. It's like I don't want to be that at all. Like.
No.
And
they didn't want that. Like, those kids probably enjoyed the lavish life, but I bet you if you asked them, maybe not when they're young, but when they're older, would you have rather lived a normal life and seen your dad? They would have taken the fucking dad.
100%. Yeah, like that's why it's like even like with TV and movies and stuff like that, it's like, there's not as glamorous as you think. Like, yeah, there's somebody, Leonardo DiCaprio wins the award, but what you don't know is he had to spend 6 months in Siberia to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like if you got kids and stuff, it's like, nah, I like doing stand-up. I like being home and seeing my kids. There's like a balance to it. It's been a little bit out of whack because of the pandemic. You have to play catch up.
Right.
But I'm very much like, I'm going to try to balance this all out.
The balance thing to me is like the hardest thing in the world.
Difficult.
Where I really like failed and where I think everything fell apart was like, I felt like I was at work. People were like, you're at home too much. You're not like working hard enough. And then at home, it was like, you're working all the time. And I was like, I am trying my best on both, and nobody thinks I'm doing a good job. So then it's like, fuck it, I can't do any of this. That balance is
and I think
tough.
people need to like physically come back into their office. I know it's very convenient to work from home, but it's just like, enough. Stop being a child. And go to the office.
And I think because when you leave the office, it's like a...
Yeah.
Because you might be comfortable from home, but you're also sending emails at 6 at 6 in the morning and fucking 1 in the morning. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, I get yelled at sometimes by my family for being on the phone too much or working. It's like, you're not understanding that, yes, I am home right now, but I'm working. So I'll go get an office then, and then you won't see me, Does
this happen for comics? It happened a shit ton for bloggers where it would be like, yes, I know that I'm writing a blog about like a fat guy who fell off the roof, or like the hot girl who was in the crowd. I know it's not like brain surgery, but this is the job. This is how I make the money. So everyone thought it was funny, or like, oh, you can skip that. You don't have to like write that blog or do that video. It's like, well, would you tell, the lawyer, like, you can write that letter like later. It's like, no, that's the fucking job. What I'm doing is kind of silly and funny, but that's the work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the same. Like, you wouldn't, I feel like actors, you would never be like, oh, you could just like skip that scene.
Yeah.
Do comics get the respect from your mom, from your kid's mom, or from your family? Like if it's Thanksgiving and you're like, I don't know, you got to do a show or some shit. Is it like, well, he's got to work, or is it like, why don't you just skip that and come to us?
Yeah, I think there is a degree of that, and there's also a degree of, oh, I'll just come to your show, or hey, get me tickets, or we're all gonna go out and hang with you at your show. It's like, no, this is work for me. You have to understand, like, I know that it's fun, I get it, and sometimes people be like, you get paid to have fun. It's like, yeah, sorry, I do.
Oh man,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you want me to do? It's like,
we always say you age in Barstool years here. Because if you look at before and after, some people have like a glow up, but there's also like a holy shit. And everyone is always like, oh yeah, like, your life's so hard. And it's like, I know you don't want to hear it, and because I dip my toe in both worlds, it's like, it's not, when you work at a cube, it's like soul crushing.
Sure.
But there's no pressure because you're just like a face in the crowd.
Sure.
Whereas like this life, at least I feel like I've got to like keep up with my fans and fight through my haters and keep people happy and achieve my goals and all this shit that's like
pressure.
It fucking weighs on you, man.
There's more pressure, yeah. But that's,
pressure kills, dude.
Yeah.
And for like a normal person,
yeah.
Like I don't have a manager or a team. You have like a publicist and all that. Like if shit goes wrong, if you say something bad and you're like in the blender, what do you just like? Is there someone who helps you? Do you call somebody, or do you just
I would
write it out?
Yeah, I mean, I for me, like if that happened to me, I think it'd just be one of those things where I just, I don't know, go off social media, just fucking.
Like when I went through my scandal, I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't have a PR team to help me. I don't have a
but the thing is though, the reason why I understand why people go off social media for that, because the thing is, it's only living there
on social media.
So like even the most scandalous
like,
people, I've known some people in some scandals, like way like
bad shit,
like gonna go to jail for it.
Yeah.
Once you sign off, you go to
It's
Starbucks.
gone. Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Right.
Genuinely, nobody cares.
And
I think that's what's happening with cancel culture now. Is people are starting to realize like nobody actually really cares about it. So it's not a tool that even works. I mean, the net.
Well, it depends. You know, like if social media gets loud enough that it translates to like they get you fired or the real world.
Look at Netflix. They just stood up and said Chappelle's staying on.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do?
And now it's like, well,
you know,
we're going to stage our walkout. It's like, go the fuck ahead.
Go ahead.
Like, we
like,
don't care.
Yeah, because it's like that's a silly thing. It's like
Yeah.
you should be. Because for me, it's like with comedy at least. It's like I always thought like. If you're telling me I can't make fun of a certain group, then what you're really telling me is you think that group is weak. Even if you're a part of that group, you're saying
this, yes.
You're saying, oh, then the group is weak.
They can't take that. They can't.
So then it's like, and I'm not thinking like that. I'm trying to come from a place of equality. That's why I'm making fun of everybody. But you telling me I can't is because you think they're weak.
That's why I think like the mix, we're the strongest people in the world. Because when has anybody ever said like you're making fun of my Irish culture, you need to be canceled?
Oh yeah,
it's never gonna fucking happen. The
yeah.
Italians are close. You guys get a little bit fucking you get a little sensitive too. But it's like the people who get joked about the most are like the strongest people.
Oh yeah, like if I was
it's actually
like
a badge of honor to call me a fucking drunken abusive Mick. I'm
it's
like
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, and it doesn't make any sense. Like Mark Norman had a great tweet the other day, paraphrasing, but he was like, "Oh, where's the diversity in Squid Games?" It's like it's a good point. It's like, "Oh, Stop the Asian Hate was 2 weeks ago, but now we're slaughtering them,
and everybody
it's number
loves
one."
it. Yeah.
So it's like it's bullshit. Like if I was in here like, "Hello, my name is fucking Chris," and making fun of Indian accent, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, let's cut that." But if I'm like, "Hey, I'm fucking Chrissy D over here," Italian, it's the same thing. It's just one is Indian, one is Italian, and then people are like, "Well, Indians have had it bad in this country." It's like, have they? They're their number one fucking culturally diverse group in the country. They're always number one in the class. So shut up.
So you hate Indians?
I don't hate Indians. I don't like their food.
Chrissy G hates Indians.
I don't hate Indians.
Do you hate Red Dot or Feather? What kind of Indians you hate? Let's clarify now.
Well, Feather I call Native Americans.
Right. Okay.
But
you're virtue signaling.
Yes.
Because you're just pandering.
But if I had to say, feathers.
Yeah. Who you hate more?
Yes.
Oh boy. Jeez. Yikes, Chris.
Ask me Hasidic Jew versus Amish people.
Who do you hate more?
Amish people, because they're not listening.
Who do you hate the most?
The most?
Yeah.
Who do I hate? The group of people that I hate the most. I'll give you a good answer. I'll give you a real answer from a plate. I would say, who do I hate the most? Midgets.
You know we got a midget here.
No.
Zah.
Where? Let me get my
man
spray.
Zah. He's unbelievable.
No, I'm kidding. I like midgets.
Yeah, I mean they're great. He's great.
Could you imagine
he's
you didn't
amazing.
like small people or little people?
I mean,
which, by the way, that seems worse.
I've never
to me.
Little people. I totally agree.
I mean,
Here
how
are
demoralizing is that?
The two things that I think are crazy: little people, and when people say blacks. Like,
I can't say that. Yeah.
Or like the black vote or blacks. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, that's
It's no
harsh,
good.
man.
No good. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of just feel like it's all fucking stupid now.
My new mantra, it's not that serious.
No, shut
But
up.
everybody fucking is, man. The last thing I want to talk about is, because I feel like what we've kind of connected on is being single dads. Not single, but like you were for a while.
I'm always teetering.
Yeah, like you were never married, but you were always, you've always kind of been with Jazz, with Vin, with Snooki. But it's a weird world for like I said earlier, it's kind of like half the time you're either a bachelor or dating or you're with somebody but not their parents, and then other times you're in dad mode and you got to do step and all that shit. And I think it is the absolute most difficult thing I've ever fucking navigated
job
in
on the
world.
planet.
It's
Single dad.
No, I have no idea how to navigate any of it though. Like,
It's hard.
Like meeting a new boyfriend, announcing a new girlfriend, learning how to handle the in-laws, learning how to, all. It's like I don't know how to do any of it. Yeah. And I got nobody showing me the way, and I am just fucking.
Yeah, no. When there's been a couple of times where like Jasmine, obviously us having like a newborn baby, she's been like, "Hey, can you just like get the kids ready for school?" And it's like I don't even know where to begin to get them ready for school. I don't know where the uniforms are. I don't even know what uniforms, who's who. I have no idea what they're supposed to be wearing. I don't know what to make for lunch because you can't just give them anything because it's a nut-free school.
Shout out to my kids. She could bring peanut butter to school.
Wow,
crazy. The Catholics.
Can bring
Catholic
peanut
school.
butter.
She can have a full-blown peanut butter fucking sandwich at school.
Because there's no nut allergies in her class.
I don't know. I guess so.
Nut allergies, by the way, it has to be something, because it is a new thing. It's not like that our minds have been crazy. It's like actually people now have nut allergies.
I would imagine
So what happened, though? Something changed in our diet or in the air.
I think the food probably changed on some level, right? Like the way the nuts are processed or whatever. And I also think that like we have probably been like slowly like getting softer and weaker and
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think there was probably a time where it was just like, I don't know, your body powered through the fucking whatever the reaction the nut was giving you. And now it's like we're so...
Yeah, I was reading something that if you drank water from just the 1850s, if you just took a sip of water from 1850, you would not only die, but there would be no medicine they would not know how to stop it. Because it would be a type of bacteria infection that
we haven't even seen.
Our entire gut flora has changed in just 200 or less than 200 years.
Wow.
So it's like crazy how like in another 200 years, like you said, like peanuts might not even be a thing that are allowed anymore. Like it might be like a literal toxic
We're like an
substance.
alien compared to what we were 200 years ago.
Yeah, we are. No, seriously.
That's wild.
And it's crazy too because it's like, you know, even like with my, you know, I'm seeing it like I'm 37 and I never met anybody with a peanut allergy.
Not once, and now it's like everybody in the fucking
Now it's
world.
like everybody has it.
Yeah.
But my pediatrician.
So if you are making lunch for your kids and shit, are you like
sun butter sandwich on Ezekiel bread, fucking peanut-free puffs, you know, just like stupid shit. But dude, as soon as my kids get back though, first of all, my daughter now, she'll put the mask on as soon as we get outside the house. I'm like, take it off. You can put it on when you get on the bus because you have to, and when you get in school because you have to. As soon as it starts to bother you, take it off.
Yeah.
Take it off because it's ridiculous. It's starting to cause mental health issues now. It's not an anti-mask statement. This is just, you're insane if you think a 5-year-old or 6-year-old should be sitting there wearing a mask all day.
How much has your kids, my kids just will wear them though. I was worried about it in the beginning.
It's a part of it.
And they just were like, they rolled with it. They're just like, where's my mask?
It's a part of her thing. So it's like, so whatever. But I tell her like, no, breathe. And then, but you know, she kind of now too, like the pediatrician said for our little girl, for the 4-month-old, start giving her like little peanut, you know, almond treats now, like little puff things, because then she won't have the peanut allergy. The allergies will go away. Wow. So like we're starting to understand
build up
now.
the immunity.
Yeah, you have to, because if not,
crazy.
that's probably what it is. You've deprived your kids so much.
Right.
But I always
that's why I always say living in New York, like I think germaphobes, you're gonna get fucking sick. Like I fucking touch the doorknob, I'll touch the pole, I don't wash my hands. What the fuck?
And it's like I've never met anyone who has a peanut allergy who's like our age or younger whose parents weren't fucking beyond annoying. Like you're never gonna meet.
I've never met like a tough guy who has the peanut allergy.
No, dude.
You never met a cool guy with the peanut allergy.
Never, dude.
Everybody's parents were the helicopter parents who wouldn't let you have a real snack after school.
Then it's like, of
and
course
all
your
that
kid's
shit.
gonna be fucked.
Yes,
of course, dude.
You coddled him into a big fucking pussy.
Watch my kid have a peanut allergy. Well,
I
like to watch my wife get fucked.
I'm like a little bit more Mr. Mom in my situation. Like I
have the body for it.
I do a lot of that shit. Like I am more like hands on with it. I'm like probably like not doing enough of the dad shit. Like I was like, oh fuck, I gotta start playing baseball with Keegan. Like I gotta start like doing some dad things.
Well, what do you do with them? What do you mean? Like how do you?
I just feel like I do more of
like you get nervous. Like hey, don't do that, don't touch that.
Oh, that's that sort of shit. But I also am like I know where your uniforms are. I'll get you ready for school.
Yeah, but you're also a single dad, so you think if you were still married, you wouldn't.
Oh no, but so you're saying like now that you're back in the house with Jazz,
yes,
you don't do that shit.
It's like a declawed cat. It's like I don't have to do anything.
Right.
Like,
yeah. No. When you're the beauty of single dad, if there's a silver lining, you know, you don't get to see your kids as much, but you do get the relief. You send them back, and then you get to live your life. I think if married couples did a little bit of like a divorce life, where it's like, okay, it's my turn for like a night off. Because you say you're going to do that, and you never do. Maybe the wife gets the night off. I never get the night off. You know what I mean?
Never.
But I do, you know, I get to live an adult life. I'm not surrounded by diapers and poop and shit. But yeah, then when I have the kids, then I'm on. I'm all by myself. I'm all alone, and I gotta know where everything is and how to do everything and get it all ready.
And it's my daughter's her hair. When I would bring her to school,
so hard, man.
She looked like she just got electrocuted.
It's so hard. I actually really tried.
The teachers would just do her hair in the hallway. They'd be like, "Oh, she can't come in like that."
See, I prided myself on that. Prided myself. I took pride in that. I learned how to do that, and like I put her hair up in ponytail. Nothing crazy, but like I made sure of that.
Did
because
you, like a YouTube video? How did you learn?
Yeah, to do it? I guess I did. I just kind of like, yeah, I would do like little fucking ponytails in my hair, my own hair and shit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not like a hairdresser. I'm just saying I can put your kid's hair in a bun. I can put it in a fucking ponytail. I learned how to comb it without fucking ripping their hair out with the. I always got the detangler on deck, like all that little shit. But yeah, I mean, because I know the feeling though. Sometimes you send them off to school where it's like lady, figure it out. You know, it's in your hands now.
Well, I know. Then my daughter, when she was young, like 3, she would like just put her hands over her head like this. She's like, no, when you comb it, it hurts. You don't know what you're doing. So I would just have to go to the teachers and be like, I'm sorry, I'm a piece of shit loser. Like, can you just do her hair?
I hate that, man. I hate that.
And then like sometimes they wouldn't, and then like, there'd be like, a picture like you could check in, and then, my ex at the time would text me like, you send it over to school with her hair like that.
Yeah.
It's like, what's wrong with
bro,
you?
yesterday, I'll tell the story before we wrap up. So Shay's got this broken arm, right?
Okay.
And it's a cast all the way up. So when you get her in clothes, you got to go through the bad arm first, and then over the head, and then into the other arm. She's got a school uniform that is a short-sleeved dress. So it's all one thing. And also, she goes to school at fucking 7:30 in the morning.
What?
It's crazy, Chris.
What is going on?
She's 5 fucking years old. We're getting out the door at like 7:15. It's still dark out. The poor little girl's crying. Like, why do I have to go to school? I'm like, I don't fucking know why.
And she stays till 2:30?
2:30. It's 7:45 to 2:30. So like 7:30, we're out the door. It's crazy. It's hard. It's a harder life than I live right now. I swear to God.
Yeah.
And so she gets up. She's not a morning person. I got to keep the lights off because otherwise it's too dark. So I'm getting her dressed in the dark, and I put the bad arm through. And then it's kind of tight, whatever, and I put it over her head. Turns out that, like, it was twisted when I put the arm through and put it on. I almost couldn't get her back out of it. I was like, all right, we got to take it off and just start over. And it was so tight, and the fucking cast was so big, and her hair's a mess, and she was like, she's crying, and I was like,
it's time to go.
and I'm like, because I let her sleep in a little bit, because I feel bad she's getting up so early, and eventually I had to just like pull her head to the side, like yank this fucking thing off. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I know, we get so
Where's your mother?
We get so I know, I got last week at my daughter's school, similar thing happened, not like that, but my daughter just wasn't moving, and then I was like screaming at her to get on the bus, and she was like, I'm hungry. I was like, well, you couldn't, you went to sleep in, blah, blah, blah. I mean, she's 6, so she got on the bus crying. She's like she turned around, she's like, I'm so hungry. And I was like,
feel like
yeah, and then I literally just went to followed the bus, went, got a bagel. Literally, they were walking off the bus, and, I saw them, and the teacher was like, what are you doing? I was like, she didn't eat. And he was like, well, she's late for school. I was like, it's on me. She didn't eat.
Right,
so
right.
And then I realized, because sometimes I forget, because I was so indoctrinated going to Catholic school my whole life, like, teacher is God, you better listen to them. But I was like, yes, absolutely, I respect the teachers, but it's like, this is my child.
My fucking kid,
so
and I know what's going on right now.
Yeah. And then you can penalize me.
Right.
Like,
She'll be a little bit late. Yes.
I don't give a fuck, Mrs. Henderson.
That's what I feel like doing on Fridays when I drop her off at school. I want to be like, you don't go to school at 7:45 anymore. On Fridays, I drop you off at 9:30, and that's fucking it. And that's fucking
Homework should be illegal, too. Homework, that's to stress the parents out. There is no reason. Do your job, lady.
Right, and you know that you send it home, and the parents just fucking do it.
Yeah.
So it's not helping the kid at all.
There's no point to homework. Prove to me, how does homework work? There's no way that it helps a kid.
Especially not this fucking early.
Come on, dude. Will you stop it?
We're about to get CPS.
Stop it with the homework.
You know I got CPS sent to my house?
What'd you do?
I didn't actually fucking do anything. It was like during the whole divorce and shit. I still to this day, it was an anonymous call. I don't know who it is. It could be fucking haters on the internet ranging up to a couple.
What did they say you were doing to your kid?
I tweeted out a story once of similar thing where I was dressing Shay. She was I was getting her ready for ballet. So I was putting her in the tights and the tutu, the one piece, and she shit herself. And so as I was getting it off, it's in her tutu and everything, and the thing's elastic. Yeah. So I kind of it snapped and like shit was flying everywhere. So I just had this like very relatable parent thread about like dealing with poop and kids and a disaster and feeling like a bad parent, and it got sent to CPS being like, this like is an abusive father. It was the worst fucking thing that's ever happened to me.
They just randomly knock on your door one day?
I got a phone call, and then they showed up, and they had to monitor us and everything. It's the worst thing that has ever happened to me. If I ever found out who did it, I will fucking kill them with my bare hands.
How long did they have to monitor you for?
Like a few weeks. Like
every time you hung out with your kid, they
not every time, but it was like they came, they like interrogated me, they talked to their mother. At one point, they talked to her. The best thing that ever happened, though, you would have thought I fucking paid them off. I was like, I invited them into my house, and my kids like turned the corner and saw me. They came running over to me, Daddy, how are you? Like jumped in my lap and everything. I was like, yes, what's up, kids?
Did even your ex-wife help you out too?
Yeah,
with that?
yeah. I mean, she was like, she was also mad at me because she's thinking it's like it's either some of these crazy Barstool fans or whatever, So it's still my fault or whatever. I still don't know who it was. I could guess a couple people.
Well, dude, I mean,
but I'm like, to put somebody through that,
it's brutal.
It was
well. Call CPS for this then, because when I took my daughter to Disney in 2019, she was 4, and she put on one of those, like, we got her like a Cinderella dress, and we got her hair done at like the Bippity Boppity Boo Cafe.
$35,000.
Yeah, $1,000. Fucking and renewal by Anderson was cheaper. So I was like, putting that, and then we're on the flight. She wanted to wear her dress from Florida back to New York. It's like, fine. So, she's going through, a little princess, whatever. So she's like, I got to go to the bathroom. She's like, I have to, go do a poo-poo. So I take her in there. It's a little-ass bathroom. I can't get her off. I can't get her dress off.
Right.
Finally, I get off. It took like 20 minutes, though, for this girl to do it. So I'm like, okay, line. Everyone's pissed. Like, an hour later, she's like, I have to poop again. Turned out she had like a little bit of stomach bug. I was like, just shit in your pants. Yeah. I was like, just go. No diaper. She was wearing like 3-year-old, like, not even pull-ups.
This is on the plane?
On the plane.
So she's just like, just sitting in her chair?
We were like an hour away from our destination. I was like, just literally go and I'll clean it up. And I am not doing that again. It's mortifying. I'm not going to do it. So we just sat there and we had a row because it was me, my mom, my daughter, and my mom. So I just told my mom what was happening. My mom was like, you need to take her to the bathroom. I was like, I'm not doing it. Do not do it.
I'm not doing it.
Do it. So we just sat there and we just let it fucking rip. I was like, yes.
That's what's up. That's how you parent.
Yes.
That's a real dad. You want to know what parenting is like? Telling your kid to shit her pants on the plane because it's too hard to get her in the fucking bathroom and get her out of the stupid Disney dress that costs $600 anyway.
It's your fault, Cinderella.
My man.
Love you.
You're too famous anyway. You don't need to plug anything, but if you want, go get tickets.
Go get Tiki Wikis.
You got what? You got Hey Babe, you got Chrissy Chaos.
I got Hey Babe, Chrissy Chaos, got the Patreon, patreon.com/Christy Comedy, and then what's up? The Wilbur Theater, we just added a show in Boston. It's a Sunday, so come to the Wilbur Theater. That's and then everything else, ChristyComedy.com. I have a shitload of dates, and then more coming.
Great.
Mwah.
All right, big thanks to everybody who watched. If you enjoyed Chris Distefano, go check him out on his podcast. He's got the Chrissy Chaos podcast. He's also got Hey Babe with Sal Vulcano. Subscribe to both of those channels. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Also, drop a comment. Who else do you want to be on the show? And make sure you click that bell icon so you get all the notifications when a new episode drops.